Hey everybody. I'm excited to be here. Um, Today is a very special episode. I wanted to talk about meeting God's messengers because I feel as though sometimes when you are on your divine path, and I was talking to Spirit about this today, it can be either quite overwhelming when you meet divine messengers, or you might miss a divine messenger because you not listening to the call of God. Um, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today so everybody can meet their divine messengers. Hello, it's so great to see you, chosen big dog tarot. And I also wanted to talk about mango manifestations, but I wanted to start with meeting God's messengers. And feel free to let me know who else is here, where you're tuning in from. How are you doing today? Tell me all the things. How was your Sunday? Um, my face is quite shiny. I've been out in the sun all day and had quite the adventure. And this manifestation energy for, August and Lionsgate and all of that is beginning to feel quite intense. So if you are receiving lots of divine messenger, messages from messengers, or if you're channeling a lot, or you feel like you are on your path and you're kind of being shoved down it quickly, it's on purpose. It's completely on purpose. But today, um, Spirit has really led me to kind of give a story, or like a testimony of what it kind of looks like to meet divine messengers. And feel free to let me know in the chat if you have met your divine messengers that help you on your destiny, right? Which can also be included, like destiny helpers. And sometimes there's just folks who are just messengers who share a bunch of information that need to be shared with you, and most of the time are very they're kind of hidden away a little bit, but also visible at the same time because they are allowing spirit to work through them. And so spirit kind of leads them wherever they need to go. And someone I met today with my friends, because I will share, on the last live, I had made a comment about receiving something for Black Rodeo, but it was from Houston. And I was like, what? But there's actually a Black Rodeo here this weekend, and that's what Spirit was trying to get us to go to. And so we did. And, sometimes you will be sent places and you're never really sure why you're there or what you need to learn, what you need to know. But usually there's a reason. And sometimes it looks like you just walking around trying to figure out um, why you're there. And we were kind of doing that, but also just wanted to, meet the um, Black cowboys and support local artists. And there was dancing and many things going on. It was like an all day event. Um, and we happened to get there was like a Black owned Italian ice thing, and we were standing in line and we just randomly started talking about sour green apple Jolly Ranchers. And then I was telling them about how, there was a soda once, and then 7-Eleven had a flavor. And then we go inside and we get to the Italian ice and the person was like, you should try the sour green apple. It's so good and it tastes just like the Jolly Rancher. And I was like, oh, how funny. Right? And I'm like, okay, clearly we need to be here. We just need to figure out like what's going on. Um, and we ended up getting our Italian ice, and then we went and sat um down on this like curb basically by the grass, and we met an amazing divine messenger. And also the reason why I want to share this is so that you are a little bit more open to when a divine messenger approaches you, and you don't accidentally gaslight yourself, um, because it's really easy to do. And the further along on your path you go into spirituality and connecting with God and your ancestors and deities, it becomes quite bizarre. It becomes quite bizarre. And it's almost like a rapid fire of information. Um, and it's all there to help you connect to your sense of self and give you confirmations. Like it's literally like when an earth angel meets another earth angel kind of vibes. Um, and it's to guide you really. And we were talking to this person and they were talking about so many things. And it just so happened that it all very much so aligned with our lives, but really aligned with mine. And we talked about poetry, and then other poets came up, and I was at a poetry event last night, and then I got their information, and then they started talking about this black company in my hometown and how they're actors and like all these things. And so then we talked about that, and then we talked about rent. We were there for so long, talked about so many things, and we were all just sitting there writing as much information and things like that. And when you meet them, it's almost like if you were in a lower frequency and you met a divine like messenger of God, you probably would not listen to them, right? Your spirit is going to want to stay and listen to them, but your ego is not. Um, because society kind of judges people who speak a different way, but when you're really gifted, information comes out of your mouth in a completely different flow of energy. And let me know who's tuning in. It's so great to see you all. Feel free to let me know how you're doing, if you've encountered messengers and things like that. Don't be shy, say hi. Um, and I remember one of the first times I had met one of, God's messengers to help me on my path. Someone I was with was kind of a little iffy about it. I was just really open because you like when you meet them, you just feel really comfortable. Like that is like sign number one, right? You meet your divine messenger and you feel really comfortable. It's like an immediate soul recognition, and it's almost like you don't even have to do much of the talking because the messengers just will naturally talk to you because they have this like short amount of time that they need to get information out to you. And so they might actually talk quite quickly, or they might ask you a lot of questions and get you to talk if they need you to talk. Um, and so, for example, like he was like, what else do you need to know about X, Y, and Z, right? There are things that I was thinking and that he was just kind of asking me about so that he could clarify. And that's another way you're going to recognize like who these messengers are because they're gonna know what you need before you really say it. Hi, Angela. Hello, Angela. Hello. So great to see you. How is your Sunday going? Um, and it's quite creepy, but it's also amazing because it's just further confirmation that you're always in the right place at the right time. And that God is always watching out for you and your ancestors are always watching out for you. And I had a feeling something weird was going to happen because we sat down and all of a sudden it was like a swarm of ancestors. And I don't usually say things out loud, but I was like, whoa, like so loud at the like massive ancestors that were flying around everywhere. My friend was like, what? So they were next to me. I was like, it's not you. Like, it's just a lot of ancestors around swarming, like going bananas. And then all of a sudden, these two men just started talking, and it was just an exchange of energy and things like that. And my friend's like, are you still in your body, Z? And I was like, nope. I don't know what's going on, which will also happen when you meet them because you're communicating in an energetic way. Like, yes, you are saying things that are like language, but you're also communicating in energetic language. Um, and it's quite miraculous, and it's one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. And what I've also started to kind of document for myself and what I've seen happen to my clients so that is before you go on like some sort of journey, or before you take a big leap of faith, or before you kind of birth something new into the universe, like into the physical world, you start to meet a lot of divine messengers from God. Like it's just you meet them, you meet them, you meet them because this energy is like being prepared, and God wants you to focus. Aw, thank you for donating. You're so sweet. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the donation. Oh, that makes me so happy. Um, you're amazing. May God send you many, many, many blessings. May it come back to you a millionfold. Um, and it's literally a pattern. It's like the way the universe and also spirit and God works. Like you can tell when you've made like you can tell right before you're about to leap because everything breaks. And then you make the leap and things are starting to piece themselves together, and then the leap is done, and then you're in this new timeline, right? And then like God sends you these messengers to help you adjust to your timeline and keep you on track. And then you catapult like into this timeline at whatever speed God wants you to move at. Like it's very miraculous. And it just keeps going in that cycle. Like that is how you're always leaping, right? And it's kind of why you start to see people move in the same way. Like when we do collective readings and it's a group of folks who are leaping all at the same time, like they get the same messages because they're in that wave of leaps. It's going good emotional the past few days. Oh, I hope you're okay. Do tell if you feel comfortable. Happy to hold space for you. It has been the energy has been there definitely for emotions as well. Um, yeah. About to complete the leap, for sure, it's intense, yeah, right during that, like, phase where I like to say God puts you in the pit. God puts you in the pit. Oh, I have some big news about the pit, that's what I wanted to tell you. Um, I like to say God puts you into the pit, and you have to, like you're, like, in this waiting incubation time, and you're healing, and you're, like, connecting with God and all these things, and then someone, like, meaning you also, and God releases you from the pit, basically. Um, but that's also your leap. Like, that's how it's always done, but right before that leap, it's like like, that's how I feel. Um you are like tested, you are like you feel emotionally naked, you're sometimes upset, like your eating is off, sometimes your sleeping is off, sometimes you're sleeping a lot, sometimes you're over exercising, like it's like a very like if you feel very unstable, but the point is to find stability and trust within spirit during that time that everything's going to work, but it's like you're being like everything in you, around you, is being like shed. Like everything has to go. That's why you're kind of in the pit and then you leave the pit and you make the leap, right? Like that's how it works. Some deep healing I'm being called to and resisting it some. Oh no. It's like these emotions that are so deep. I feel on the verge of tears a lot, like I'm scared to feel them or something. Yeah, definitely. If you can find a safe space for yourself, whether it's in your car, like out in nature with a friend, you're also welcome to come to Z School for the Gifted because we cry, we cry, my words, we cry a lot in there sometimes. Um, but it's time to let those tears go so you can make the leap. Um, God will basically like squish you until the tears come out. I'm not even kidding you. and my mind trying to make sense of where is this coming from and why, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Though it's going to be a lot easier once you release those tears to kind of figure out where it came from because it's such a big bubble of emotions that sometimes you have to pop it, right, to see what's in the balloon. And then you see what's inside. Maybe it's whipped cream. When I just need to feel it, yeah, it's crazy when I feel myself resisting, but I want to let them go. Yeah. Do whatever you need to. If you need to, yell. Were you allowed to express yourself growing up? Um, yes, exactly. Pop the balloon. Yeah, you have to pop the balloon. And every person is different. For myself, like, and this is an example I'll give you, like, I have a very high capacity for pain, like holding pain. One, I'm a female. Two, I'm black. We're like, again, lowest on the social totem pole. But three, just how I've had to live life since I was very little. Um, and which was also why I learned to alchemize pain, even massive pain, massive, massive pain. But sometimes when I am quite resistant to, like, I like to say submerging myself into the shadows. Um, I will sometimes move like my body energetically as much as I can. Like sometimes I feel like sometimes if you push the physical energy out of your body, and you'll see this even in like a lot of indigenous practices as well, like compressing different parts of your body will allow for the emotion to come up. It's like compressing the energy out of your, like going like this, like a lemon squeezer. Um, but I will run really far. Like I will run really, really far because I have a high capacity to hold on to things, and still be high functioning, like very high functioning, but like totally masking. Um, and so I exercise, but I also hold a lot of like stamina in general. And so I will literally run until I'm totally gassed, and then I have to run back because I have to get back. And usually by the time I'm done with that run, my body has released so much energy that I have nothing left to hide my tears. Like sometimes it's like that. Um, and it just is able to more safely come out because usually my anxiety is so high. It gets so high, and I see this with my clients too, where it's like they're fighting the change because they're so anxious. They can't figure it out, but they're so anxious to feel those emotions that you have to physically also get rid of all that energy that's sitting on top of the sadness, right? There's like anger always masks like fear and sadness. Like sadness is really hard to get to, but it's like anxiety and and fear and anger and like all these other frequencies, and then you can clear them and get to the actual like pain. Um and there's different avenues that you can take for doing that. But like when I help my clients in More Than Worthy, like they have very strong um rituals, right? Like movement is always a big one. Breath work is always a big one. Food is always a big one. Their environment is always a bit like we strategically and slowly create safety for themselves and recondition their body so that they can also alchemize this energy and get it out of them so they can continue to heal. um, Otherwise, if you're just going about life and you don't have any sort of rituals or any structures, you don't actually understand what safety looks like, and so you can't let it out. So a lot of the times when people have trouble expressing themselves, um, and like releasing emotions, it's because they have a poor understanding as well of what safety is and how to create it. They're incapable of creating the safety that their body and their emotions need to come out, right? Like you have to feel safe enough to come out. Um, but in order to do that, it's like, hey, kitty, kitty, hey, kitty, kitty, it has to be safe. It has to be safe. Like, because crying and emotionally releasing requires a certain amount of vulnerability, and you're only going to be able to be vulnerable to the extent of the safety that you experience. But if you've never been able to fully create it for yourself, know what it looks like, how to do it, um, you can't gauge your environment, whether it's actually safe or not, because a lot of people think they're safe and they're not safe. Um, it'll keep it inside. So, I mean, it's totally normal. Yes, it's like the squeezing and holding on. Yeah, it's so hard. It's also, you know, it's very familiar. So you're going to want to hold on to it because it's the only thing you've known. So letting go of it means change, which means you have to experience something else, but that something else feels so much more daunting than just releasing, right? Like, but most of the time when you release it and you allow those emotions to come up, you feel so much better, but you can't see it because your ego and everything is getting in the way of like, no, I felt this before. I know what happens when I feel this. It hurts. It's like, yes, but it hurts and it's temporary and then it's better again. Yeah, definitely exercise. Yeah, get some breath work. Like really like get it out of your body. Like whatever you need to do. Because part of it is I need to be alone as well to feel safe and hard to get time to myself. That makes sense. Yeah. It's that quiet time. And it's, in More Than Worthy, like it's why I have my clients kind of journey by themselves. Like even if they have this is bugging me. Even if they have like a relationship or um, things like that, family members, it's a requirement to like in the beginning be open to building routine into your life where you can have quiet space. Like it's like if you have a partner, they are also it's like we also can have a group meeting. Like there is an understanding that this is a 6-month journey of deep healing. And so the expectation is for this person to be able to safely heal. And so by no means can they interfere. Like by no means can they interfere whatsoever. They are to be supportive. And that is the only thing. If I find out any different, Z's making a house visit. um yeah, but that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, do your best to get as much time to yourself as you can so you can actually um, move on, right? It's about moving on. And right now is a powerful time. It's so powerful with manifestations. And that's also why I wanted to go live because there's so many miracles that are just like dropping out of the sky right now that I don't want anybody to miss it because they're too scared to heal, you know? Oh, thank you so much. Tears finally coming. Yay. I wish I could give you a hug. Just let it all out. Let it out. I don't know if you saw that video that I posted, but it was while we were making food at my friend's house and I was asking them about memories and I like said like feel free to cry. Crying is so healing. You deserve to like be happy. So like tell yourself, give yourself some squeezes. It's like it's okay to let it go, you know? Sometimes you have to say that. Sometimes like when I'm healing too and I tell my clients to do it too, like it's okay. Like it's okay to let it go now. You don't have to carry it anymore. It was never yours to carry in the first place, you know? How I kind of see it is like, how would you talk to a child? How gently would you talk to a small child about like create like allowing them to express themselves? You wouldn't be like, you know, you would meet them with so much love and tenderness and care and support and just let them experience whatever they're needing to experience during that time because they're also learning how to regulate themselves. And it's okay to learn how to regulate yourself as an adult. But we have to at least give ourselves the opportunity to be able to regulate. And, many people in the world, all the way into adulthood, have never seen what safety looks like. Um, and, many people have been conditioned to not feel because if we feel, that means we might feel everything, right? We might feel how upset we actually are at work, or how scared we are, or worry about finances, or how my family treats me, or what's happening in the world. Maybe we worry about chaos and anger and all those things, because feeling means you feel everything. But when you do feel everything, like, that is also an honor too, right? Because when you feel all those feelings, it means you can also feel a lot of love, and you can feel a lot of peace and depth. Uh, and that's why, like, I've given myself to God to help people, because had I had someone sooner in my life to teach me that there's nothing wrong with how deeply I feel, and that it was okay to let go of all the pain that was pushed onto me, like, I would have had peace so much earlier. But I still learned it, and I can still pass it on, right? Like, my capacity for love is much larger than my capacity for, like, pain. Now, because I've started, and have for many years, many, many years, um, embracing that part of myself. And everybody, my wish is that all of you can embrace yourselves fully, right? And it's no coincidence that you're here. Everything happens for a reason, right? We sometimes our soul asks for help, and then the right person comes along, and I'm filling the spot for you of being a divine messenger. A messenger of, it's okay to let it go. Hug, I can feel the hug. Oh, good, yay. I'm so glad. And what better confirmation than that, right? And full transparency, because I can tell you about my day, and how, like, it shows up. And that's the thing, like, healing and all this stuff, there's no right way to do it. And you just get better at it. That's all. You just get better and faster at it, and God comes in and swoops you if you allow it to happen. And I'm about to make a huge leap in my life very soon. And I woke up today feeling a little unsure, which happens because it's change and ego and whatever, right? And I was also really grateful, because I usually on Sundays, like, I go to church and I go to my cooking class, and I see my friends, and, like, just laugh and do all the fun things. Usually I jump in the river, but I didn't today because I'm so tired. Um, and I was so unsure. Like, I felt so unsure. And I just said a little prayer to God just to help me today. I was like, can you just step in? Just step in, because I don't know. I don't know how to let this go. And I don't like the I don't like the feeling. I trust you. I don't want this. Right. And I had also wanted to tell someone at my church really good news about something I had found out. And I said, Dear God, can you also send me the teeny tiny woman who always sends messages? She's like a little messenger. She's literally so small. She's tiny. She's like a doll. I don't know how she walks. But I went into church, and I sat down, like, I was guided to kind of sit somewhere, and then I see the tiny lady. She comes over, and she's walking with her arms out. I was like, "What's happening?" And she's like, someone was like, "Oh, hi, it's so great to see you." She's like, "No, no, I came over here to see Z." And she comes over and gives me a hug. And she's like, "I specifically wanted to come see you." And I was like, "I was literally just praying for you. I had such good news." And I told her the good news, and we both just broke into tears. And then she was like, "God did it." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Like, messengers come at such amazing times when you allow them, right? Like, and even just here, like, you have been open to this journey, Angela, of like healing and growing and expansion, and the energy will just naturally find you. It always finds you. And it didn't even stop there. It, like, kept going. It was like the person in front of me, then, like, all these things. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling it, like, thanks God, but I was still feeling a little unsure when I left. And in my cooking class, we made Italian gelato, and I was like, "Ah, this is so good." Then I had Italian ice. I was eating a lot of sugar today, which also why I crashed a little bit later. But, it was just such a cool moment because she knew that I was, like, praying for something in particular, and she had prayed with me one day, and she delivered this amazing message, and then I just had to tell her that it happened, and we just, like, broke down, and then I went to go see my friends at the rodeo, and then we met another amazing divine messenger who was literally with us for hours, and then we left, and we were walking around in, like, the neighborhood checking stuff out, and then he came again, and I was like, "His energy is just gonna keep finding us." No matter where we went, he was like he'd be like, "Oh," and we would laugh, and he would deliver another message. Um, and then, we were standing there, talking, and my friends went one way, and I was like, "Oh, I'm parked over here." Um but, like, right before that, he was talking about how women, like, needed to be protected and all these things, and he was like, "Men always stand closer to the street," and he was like, "But a lot of people think it's just protection, but it's also because when things would splash, it was cheaper to clean the men's suit than it was to clean the women's dresses." And I was like, "I like the other story better." I was like, "I like the other story better." Um, but, so he started leaving. And then it was like something like snapped him back to me, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna be with you." And I was like, "Okay." And then we walked, and then he just was talking about God the whole time. The whole time was asking me questions and all sorts of stuff. And my hair, why was it purple? It was a royal color and all these things. I was like, I dye it whatever color God tells me to color it. Um, and he, like, takes me back to my car, and he, like, opens my door, and he does all the things, and I had said right before that, like, while I was with my friends, um, I'd also said, like, "Yeah, I like to be in my traditional, like, overly traditional feminine. I don't like touching doorknobs. I don't even wanna pump my own gas." I was like, "I'm just gonna see how far I can take this," and I was like, "And I manifested a gas station that's full service, and I didn't even know those still existed, and so I go there." Like, just whatever. And he had shared so many things that was so confirming, and could not have been more grateful. Like, just be open to experiencing miracles because they come when you least expect it. And I had just woken up that day, like, I'm so unsure. God, can you please just could you please just help? um, but it's like, how often do you ask the universe or your ancestors for help? Hmm? I would love to know, whoever's here. Let me know, how often do you ask for help? Oh, that's so cool. She came right to Yeah, she literally came with open arms. I was like, I don't know what kind of mother incarnate are you? But she just even though she's so small. She's so tiny. I have to like bend down to like give her a hug. I'm 5'2". She's itty bitty. I'm like, you must blow away when the wind blows. Like she's so small. Um But it was nice, and it was also nice, like, when you meet these divine messengers, you can, like, let go of like, gaslighting yourself. That's why I want you all to lean into it because many of you have spent so long having to hide your gifts, and you don't have to hide your gifts. He wasn't hiding his gifts, but he was like, "I also stay a little bit away from all the people because I pick up on a lot of their energy," and I was like, "Us too," but, like, all of us kept meeting, and so it was like, "Okay, we all have the same energy." Um, and as I was, like, getting into the car and things like that, because I didn't even shut my door or the things, right? That's how it should go. Um, he just was so sweet, and he was so grateful to have met me, and he had said that he wished or he hoped that God would allow us to meet again. And I was like, "You totally understand what happens when you meet messengers, because sometimes when you meet messengers, they don't come back because they're just meant for that, like" time of your path and then they disappear, you know, like they just disappear. But it's like be consistent. I'm glad that you ask. Did you pray for help with your the crying, the tearing? Um, but it's so important, especially when I need a higher perspective. Yeah. Pray on everything though. Pray on everything, no matter how small. Literally pray on everything. I do it all the time. Like yesterday, someone at I did my poetry event, right? And there's always gonna be someone who says something when you're out and about being bright or whatnot. And we had done a whole poetry event about, Black joy and how people say we're too much and all these things. And one of the other poets who, our energies didn't quite align, um, had told me to soften my poetry, soften it. And I was like, no, thank you. I send you love, though. I send you love. And I was like, you know what, God, tell me how to send them some love. I was like, how do you do this unconditional thing? I was like, can you just let me feel a little bit more today because I feel some type of way. I ask a lot. I just hear them all the time now. Good. I'm glad. We'll see how quickly it was resolved. Yeah, it's great when you can just let go. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm just getting a lot of messages, so I'm just jibber jabbering. Um, my poem, since we were talking about the pit, my poem made it to the next round of the competition. It's the one called The Pit, and it's amazing, and it's on the Unsealed. Um, And so I'm going to be sharing the link. So everybody look for it so you can go vote for me. I'm hoping to win. Hoping to win last time I was published and it was so fun. And then I also hit 2 billboards. So I'm going to be sharing it. Yes, I am glad I was led here. Me too. Me too. Now you can be free. You know what I mean? You can just be free. But I'm going to share that link for folks. And again, I invite everybody to come this week for all of Z School for the Gifted Magicalness. Tomorrow is Magic to Market, so for business owners and whatnot. Z School for the Gifted, it might actually change days, so I will keep you posted. But we're going over mirror work. So if you have a mirror, we're going to be peeking into the spiritual realm. It's going to be fun, and then everybody's going to fall asleep. I did a clearing this week where I custom I got like literally fulfilled and burn ritual. Then a bat started flying over my head. It was beautiful. I love that. Yeah, definitely clear. It's the time to clear it out. We've all been clearing like bananas, my friends and I. It's just like, no, 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 don't come back. Don't come back. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to share my link in the community tab. Feel free to vote for me, please. Um, yeah, that's amazing. I love that you did clearing. You gotta get it out. You gotta get it out. That's how my friend has been feeling lately. I was like, just be direct, like real direct. I'm like, don't nobody text me on a bad day. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't project like that. But if you push a boundary once, it's like, I'm gonna get you. Yes, congrats on your poem. I hope you win. Thank you. I feel so good. Like I haven't felt this good inside myself. My mind, space, and heart since I was a young girl. Oh, yay! Yeah, this energy right now is great for clearing. You're going to feel a lot of peace if you do the work. I'm glad you're doing the work. Your younger self should be at peace too. So many adults live with their inner child so unhappy or still in pain and not able to be their most authentic self. And you can't live like that. You know what I mean? You got to be free. You got to be open to experience life and, better capacity for love. And usually there's going to be stuff that pops in the next day. Like I cut someone out of my life that was really toxic, and then someone else, I met someone like that same day in the afternoon. So it's like things are just manifesting as fast as they can be. Um, but yeah. Have any of you tuned into the mango manifestations? Because I was also going to make an announcement about that. If you've tuned in, if you haven't tuned in, I'm gonna push it back. I'm gonna push it back and not tell anybody. Oh, so sweet. Thank you, Angela. There's such a delay in the comments. I'm super tired. I'm probably gonna go in a little bit. Yes, I've been thinking about times in my life when I don't know if you heard that. The dog was like, ow. Um, when I was acting in my true authentic self, more so trying to tap into feeling of what that felt like. Yeah, more authentic self, more authentic self. I love that. It's easy to slip out of it sometimes. It's easy. That's how I was feeling today. Like I was really happy. Like I feel like, I always write down what I'm grateful for every day, twice a day. Um, and I always try and go for being authentic the entire day, the entire day with every interaction. And that's how I felt today. And that's why I love like meeting spiritual people like all of you and folks who are amazing because we can just show up as our authentic self and support each other and not be judged. And that's what that man also did for me, right? We didn't judge him, so he felt safe and I like could receive and he could receive, and it's just a really cool atmosphere. Yes, I watched some of it, I think. Yeah, I posted a preview, but the full one's on Substack. Yes, it was short, I think. It's 12 minutes long, so it's not short. You were reading something spicy. Yeah. Yeah. It's the mango manifestation. I'm just gonna push back the announcement. I haven't really shared much of it. I've been tired. I've been having fun. But yeah, so basically um the game is I'm going to be creating the stories and dropping a chapter, and then folks can decipher because we were one night on here on live, and I said that I would share my mango manifestations because I work with Oshun, and Oshun helps me manifest masculines into my life. So I was gonna basically share the stories and create fiction stories, but I'm not gonna tell the difference. Like I'm not gonna tell you which ones are which until I go live. So yeah, you have to read it. You have to read it and then people can take their best guess. And it's just a fun creative writing thing. But they really wanted it. Um I haven't tapped in it. I don't know what it is. Oh, so I'm a writer. Mango Manifestations we came up with on another episode of ZTV where I was live with my friends. And because we talk about love all the time and manifesting and union and all that kind of stuff, but we also like make fun of ourselves the entire time and share really embarrassing stories. Um, and on one of the lives, I kept saying how like when will like Oshun will give me little cues that are significant to her to let me know that she helped manifest this man. And so my friend had named it the Mango Men manifestations or the Mango Men and other manifestations. And so then they wanted me to write about it. And so I wrote about it, but I dropped a preview of the chapter and it's about love life and it's a little raunchy sometimes, but it's on Substack and I just dropped the first full chapter. Something dropped. So I should. Yeah, you should if it's your vibe. It's fun. It's like and basically each chapter also like each mango man has a tarot card that is associated with it. Um and then I'm also going to drop another surprise and some clothing to go along with it because in the live we also talked about like what I say sometimes when I leave the house, if I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna manifest a date," or whatever, I would always say, "May the best man win," and every time I would meet someone that day, and so we're making shirts that say, "May the best man." I mean, technically, they're already made, I just didn't print them. Something taps ocean. Yeah, right, I was on that live, I remember, yeah, yeah. Hi, Dylan. You are beautiful no matter what they say. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, I feel beautiful. Definitely going to watch though, yeah. So basically on Substack, I'm releasing so it's the full text chapter along with me reading the chapter. So whichever one you like, you can listen to either one. Um, but I think what I'm gonna do is push the thing to next week. Or maybe no, I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm gonna push it. So then we can do like a full live. My friend and I are actually gonna do another love thing, but it's gonna be me and just Ethany, and we're gonna be making pizza. So maybe I'll do it on there because we seem to always talk about love during those, and it's always so funny. That's cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's really fun. So basically, by you know, well, it depends on how I mean, I have quite a few chapters, but um by the end should have like a full tarot. But it's really fun. I thought it was the funnest thing ever. And I'm like, oh yeah, let me just air my own fucking laundry out to the whole friggin' world. But it's great. Happy Sunday! See? Hi, Shawnee. Just tuning in. I haven't read yet, but excited to do so. I just woke up from a wild dream. Ooh, do tell your dream. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Substack. You can listen to it. There's an audio file. It's only 12 minutes long. I want to know about the stream. How was your poetry event? Ah, thanks for asking and remembering. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Um, we had a huge, huge turnout. It was a collaboration between Black women in poetry. Well, basically, there's this woman named Joanna who's quite well known on the East Coast for Black women in comedy and has been like changing the game for Black femme comedians out there in Brooklyn. And so my friend who's here in Sacramento wanted to do a Black women in poetry. And so they collaborated, and Joanna helped her basically build this event. And it was just so much freaking fun because it was a fusion of like Joanna was doing stand up and we were also doing our poetry. And we also had Black vendors and things like that. And it just was so much fun. Thanks for asking. It was so much fun. Um, I threw some fire on my poetry is very fiery, very, very, very fiery. Uh, I love sharing it. I basically like let out all my fire. On here, I don't really let out my fire. I do sometimes, but it's like I feel like it doesn't come off very well in video. But when I'm live, it's like out of my mouth. So it was fun. Yeah, all the poets were really great. Um, yeah, they're amazing. They're all activists too, which was great. And we're planning to do another event all together, and this was just the first time. And so seeing how big of a turnout that we have for this event means the next one's going to be quite large. Quite large. Lifted, love lifted me poetry. Hey, you're a poet too. The last part of the dream was I was walking along the highway and a man in an ice cream car, which was like a red sports car with ice pictures and playing ice cream music rolled by. I waved. That's hilarious because today, 'cause I feel like this is how energy works, right? I went to like my cooking class was to make a gelato, so we were making ice cream, but on the one of they also had like a pre-made machine that you could play with, and there was the ice cream man like songs on there. And then when I got to the show today, we had Italian ice, and there were quite a few red sports cars. So that's funny. It's funny how all that works, right? Who's in whose energy? And down and brought some ice cream and then seduced him. That's the best. Oh my goodness, that's the best thing. You're writing your own mango manifestations as we speak, man. Oh my gosh, that's the best. Grabbed his manhood and licked his neck, then woke up. Shawnee! Oh yeah, that, my friend, is a dream. Did you recognize the person? I don't know if you recognize the person. You have probably strong Oshun energy right now. You should go outside. If you're dreaming that, go outside. Go outside. You need to like test it out, take it for a test drive. I'm so glad the poetry event went well. I'm so proud of you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was fun. It's funny because I never really took my poetry very seriously, and it's like a part of my business that does really well. I was like, I didn't see any of that coming whatsoever. I was just doing it for fun, and I just was like submitting things for fun. Anytime I saw an email, I was like, "Ooh," and then it was like, boom, 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 published billboard, and then boom, boom, boom. I was like, I was just writing shit. Yes, yes, my sweet, sweet dear one. Love you, namaste. Aw, you're so sweet. Where are you located? Are you in California or someplace else? Yes, he reminded me of Jacob Lattimore. Ooh, there's a crumb in my legs. Hold on. I think I'm thinking of a different Jacob. Oh, look at you. Was he also wearing a suit like this? Was this your deepest desire? Oh, Maryland. Someone else is from Maryland, or is it just you? I love it. Anybody else having weird dreams? I've been having weird dreams too. Just looked him up too. That's a beige king there. What do you mean beige? Like light skinned? Light skinned. Oh. Speaking of which, my friend just texted me about the pizza. Mm, 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 mm. movie night and pizza night. Wah, 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 wah. I love it. Ancestors are like planting the seeds with all these plans. It's like it's just all fun now. I love it. He had on a full navy blue like jumpsuit. Ooh, like a car jumpsuit or like a different type of jumpsuit. It was fitting. Was he like Superman fitted? Just kidding. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Yes, he is so handsome. Let me look again. I already forgot they looked like. Oh, someone texted me. Oh, very attractive. Very, very. Is that your vibe? Is that like your taste of, is that like your flavor? Do you have like, some people don't have a type. Do you have like a tendency? I like to say tendency. Some people don't have a type, but they have a tendency, but they really do have a type. I plan to get outside more. I did a yoga class outside. Yay! And did pole. Yes. I was just telling my friend to do pole. The jumpsuit is like a mechanic one. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like a mechanic jumpsuit. Not really the Superman one. I just thought it was funny. Because that would have been funny. Giving me ideas for a story. I never stop creative writing. Bring it. Oh man, Shawnee, that's the best ever. Paulo. Shh. Sis has been talking way too much. I had a weird, interesting dream. Ooh, and I also had deja vu, and I wanted someone to tell. Oh my gosh, tell us right now. Don't give us the pre-story. Give us the story. Give us the story. Story, story, story. Type it out. Type it out. Type it out. This is a story place. Oh, I also wanted to say, ow, that ZTV is some sort of vortex. So I thought maybe today we could just manifest things because for some reason, whatever happens when we're all together happens in real life. So we should put out some great vibes. You don't have to necessarily say your manifestation, but you're welcome to because there's something about this portal. I don't know what happens. I don't freaking know what happens. Oh, okay. Me, what this means. So there was a bathroom like set up, and first it was a sink, then a toilet out in the open. What was it like a, what's that artist that puts that always has the toilets? Oh, I'm blanking. It's gone. I can literally see it in the museum. I'm standing looking at it. I just washed my hands, but there was a little boy beside me, and for some reason I had ellipsis. Had, what did you have? I want to know. I like energy. I love Method Man, David Banner, Da Vinci, a coffee so wait, I didn't spell the last name right. Tupac. I saw a lot of Tupac shirts today. Deep voices. LOL, big muzzles. Okay, wait. I don't remember what David Banner looks like. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, you like want to be handled. You want to be handled. Hold on, let me look at this one. Okay. Yeah, you have a type. You have a type. They all kind of look a little similar. Hold on. Let me, yeah, you have a type. You have a tall, dark, and handsome type. Oh, stupid. To teach him how to use the bathroom and pee, I told him to wipe around. But his dad was right next to him, and he only washed his hands for a second. What? Why are you I wonder whose child you were taking care of. Was it your own, secretly? Yes, exactly. I love intellectual thoughts. Oh, 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 you are making me laugh. I'm trying if I had milk, it would come out my nose right now. Ooh, Tupac. Deep voices. Yeah. Okay, talking about voices, I was literally talking to my friend about this, that depending on the, like, octave of a man's voice will dictate whether or not I can be around their energy as well. Like, if a man says something and it's, like, just slightly too high, my energy goes like, I, like, can't stand him. And it's, like, such a strong response. Like, I just, like, "Ugh, no." And I have to leave. But if they have, like, a deeper voice, I can listen to it more easily. I don't know why the bathroom, but it wasn't the same time. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe you it could have also been, like, an aspect of you, like, if you ever felt neglected as a child. It wasn't a bathroom at the same time because how it was built. I love Method Man and Pac. Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't remember what Method Man looks like, to be honest. Oh, you all I forgot. You are I'm sorry. I just love this conversation so much. That's funny. Yeah, it's hella funny. What else are you manifesting? Anybody, you can put in the chat because this is a vortex for some reason. Right, Shawnee? I feel like it is. Because that whole thing with that other person from Z School for the Gifted and their lover popped up. So I had a professor in college that had this high-pitched voice, and I used to fall asleep in his class every day. Then I would kill it on the test. He didn't like me. That's so funny. I fell asleep in school quite a bit, mostly because I was traumatized, but I didn't always kill it. Nope. The voice is important to me. It's something about the octave I need to vibrate through my body when he speaks to me. Yeah, I totally get it. If it's off, like if like you can just kind of tell, like it just feels it's it's almost like your soul is already recognizing that that is not your soulmate, but on an energetic level. Like it's so like it just doesn't work. And also I feel like nature wise, like sometimes a deeper voice can give the appearance of being more masculine. And so if you're wanting someone more masculine and you're more feminine, you're going to go towards the people who have the deeper voices rather than a voice that is higher pitched like yours, like a feminine voice. I'm not saying that's always the case, but usually command my attention. Okay. I love that you said that. I feel like, Shawnee, I wish you were here and you could just be around my friends too, because they're so funny. Um, but I was saying how the man that I met at the gas station who was helping me when I was like refusing to do anything, basically, I really liked him, one, because he had a deep voice, but he was also very masculine and very direct, like very direct. And he was commanding attention. Like it was like I couldn't help but listen. And I just loved it. And I felt so safe. And even though I was trying to be funny, he didn't get my humor because I had just met him. And he was talking about the car that I drive, which is basically like on its last leg, it's gonna explode. And it's not my car because I travel a lot. It's just an old car that was in the driveway. Um, and he was like he was like, "Do not drive this car on the freeway." And I was like, "Well, you would be surprised to know I drove it up to the mountain not that long ago." And he was like, "Do not do that." Like I was very like sharp and I was like, "Understood." I won't do it again. And I was like, "Oh, I was also thinking of," and he was like, "No, you will drive home on the streets." And I was like, "Man," but also like, "Great. I'll listen to you. What else do you know? Tell me what you know." He's like fixing all these things, but he commanded attention. And I was like, "I love this. I love this." I totally get it. And there was like someone else who was kind of lingering, and they were the opposite. And my body was like, they're like, "Oh, I just," and I was like, "What's wrong with ah, why do you sound like that? Why are you so like limp in arms?" Like, it was like, I don't understand. Not like shape-wise, but their like movement was very like feminine. Some not even feminine, it just was like floppy. It's like, why do your arms flop like that? Why don't they just like sit there? I'm manifesting a calm, radiant me. Ah, I love that. I can feel your energy. My inner child can rest no more performing. The divine woman in me is here, and she wishes a bitch would. And the little fighting, what is it called? Fencing. I love that. I love that so much. I'm telling you, this is a vortex. Watch. Your life about to be real peaceful. It's something in this portal. I'm just riding the wave, tapping into my divine feminine energy. Yeah, it's wild, right? This is a weird ass portal. It's a weird, and I love it so much because you never know what's gonna happen. One of my one of my friends the other day, um, she texted me like a really sexy text, and then was like, "I'm so sorry that was meant for my partner," and I was like, "Excuse me." I am highly turned on by that text message. You are doing the right thing. Like, I was like, why are you apologizing? I don't care. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you just owning it. Taking notes. Hi, Ancient Eyes. How are you? Yes, he listened to that man. He knows what he's talking about. No, he did. That's why I felt so like safe. And he was like very matter of fact and very like, "Are you listening to me? I'm trying to protect you." And I was laughing at the same time because sometimes I do that when I get nervous. And I couldn't help myself but make jokes. And then he was like, basically, like, "Stop making jokes. Like, I need to know that you're understanding what I'm saying." And I was like, "I'm understanding. Sorry." But I was also like, I like you. I like you. I can't get away with things. This is great. And I also like started acting really strange, dude threw some daggers and he didn't really care. I love an emotionally mature man that can communicate his feelings in deep, sexy voice. Yes. Yes. Preach. Slow. Bring it. Bring it on. Bring it on now. Me too. Emotionally available too. Not a chicken. This person's great. It's great. He's oh, I see what you mean. I'm manifesting new people, new opportunities, and a deeper practice. I love that. Deeper practice in like your spiritual practice. More peace need without people breathing down my neck and everything. Yeah. Let those kick them to the curb. Kick them to the curb. Leave them at the curb. Nobody goes anyways. I've been through so many emotions for days now. Earlier, I went in the closet, yelled, and punched pillows and took a nap. Had the best hair day and walked for an hour. It was so peaceful. Yes, that's literally what this energy is right now. It's so weird, but it's magical all at the same time. That's how I felt. Like I did the poetry event. I felt really good, but then I had that run in with like a poet who decided to like try and step on my energy. And then I was like, I was so mad, but then I let it go, and I was like, "God, unconditional love." worked it out, woke up like, "What?" And then had so much fun. Like, this energy is like, "Hey." Yes, that's what I need in a man, the energy of protection, yeah. So I can rest in my feminine energy. Yeah. Yes, bring it on. I can't be protecting and thinking for both of us stimulate my mind in a good way. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. That's how I felt when he talked. He talks like that, like, and it was just like amazing. I literally had this moment of like, oh, you're a healthy man. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was like, so is it okay if I? And he like looked at me and was like, no. I love this. I love when people are so direct. Like, I love when a band's like, yes, no, I'm fixing this. Don't do that. And when I didn't want to touch anything, like, he was like, just come here. And he was like, don't touch it. I'll do it. Don't touch it. Stop touching it. And I was like, yeah, we have mastered this. We have mastered the skill of feminine energy. It was great. It's great. He needs to let me know he knows something without making me feel like he's a know-it-all. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. There is that borderline know-it-all. See, I don't always mind the know-it-all if it's sarcastic because I actually enjoy it depends. I feel like the know-it-all energy, which I totally am getting you on, like, it can be quite annoying. I enjoy the sarcastic know-it-alls that aren't actually know-it-alls. They pretend to be, but they know that, and it's funny. You know what I mean? They're secretly nerds, and they think that they're cool, but they're really not. The slow clap had the most energy time behind it than the regular clap. I mean, sometimes you need a slow clap. 11, 11, love. Oh my goodness. Relationships are so interesting. It's so freaking interesting. Like, I just I'm not gonna lie, that moment that he said that, it just was like, "Ah, this is so nice." I just, like, stood there. Just gonna wait for you to tell me what to do next. Like, "Is it safe now?" "No, it's still not safe. You need to blah, blah, blah." It's like, "Well, we'll see. It's not really my car." You gotta go, but I totally get it. I'm not like, being in your feminine energy and having that protection, it's phenomenal. And he's, like, taller than me and strong, and so I was like, "I feel very safe right now." Even though there weren't any, like, complicated tasks, I felt safe. And even with the man that I walked with today, that walked me all the way to my car, like, I felt safe because he was like, "No, I'm gonna protect you." He was like, "I was raised well." I appreciate that. Even though I know the truth that it's cheaper to clean the man's suit than to clean my dress, I prefer it all be about protection. But yeah, when you can soften, it's a whole different ball game. And being single, it's quite difficult to do that. But that's where your, excuse me, spirituality can come in, right? Walking with your ancestors, walking with God, and God being your provider. Um, that's what I always do. And I also ask God to send in masculine energy to protect me wherever I go that's like healthy, that's like sent by Him, sent by the Most High. And my ancestors, I ask them too. And they just show up out of the blue like this guy or that other guy. And every time I run now, there's always someone there to help me. And I don't remember if I said, but I was like running and I wanted to have some water from the fountain. And there was this man, and he was like, "Don't drink that." Like, constantly being told what to do. But I ended up getting like a brand new water, and I needed it during that time. Just, do not touch that. You are an ancestor. I walked past an Archangel Michael statue, and I thought that's literally what I desire, a man that protects women and children. So this is in harmony with that thought. Yeah, seek confirmation. It's such a portal. It's such a portal. We're always in the right place at the right time. Protecting energy. Yeah, um when I was previously married, that was also something that was a concern of mine. Because I was like, I need someone who's gonna protect me in the teeny tots, physically, emotionally, all the things, financially. And it's important. It's really, really important. Why would I have kids with someone or build a family with someone, as I'm sure you were also thinking, with someone who can't keep the family alive? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm loving my singleness right now and the solitude. I have grown so much spiritually and physically. I know my next encounter with someone will be amazing. Yes, and I'm excited. Yeah, yeah, it is. Enjoy it. I ain't rushing it. The longer time, the better it will be. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's her name from Z School from the Gifted just came out of the blue. And they've just been enjoying their time. Every time I meet someone, it's totally out of the blue. It's great. Enjoy it. Have fun. Explore who you are. Grow your gifts. And like you said, there's no rush. And you know, being on that path of like the hermit mode for a while, it's so amazing because you get to rest even though you're nervous about resting if you work a lot, right? Um, and then all of a sudden your life becomes really busy. So just enjoy it. Enjoy it as much as you can. Pour into yourself, take care of yourself, talk to your ancestors. And you're like slowly getting prepared anyways to be able to receive. When you can fully love yourself, then they appear. Just like this person came out of really fucking nowhere. And you can always know it's from spirit. I asked spirit to make it very clear that they were like from spirit or Oshun or whoever. And I asked this person, one of the people, like what their favorite movie was. They said the Ten Commandments. They said the Ten Commandments. And I was like, yep, there it is. There it is. Well, yes. It's all fun. It's all fun. You just keep taking care of yourself in the best way possible, and everything gets figured out. Pardon me. Everything gets figured out. New people, what are you manifesting? I've seen some people pop in. What are you manifesting? It's a little manifestation portal. It's not really little, it's a big one. Astrologically, it's also ginormous. It's so big. To be honest, I just love that I found out so much about all of you and your secret. types, and I love it. It's so amazing. And also, I am sharing that um, I have a new The Art of Love and Magnetism class that I'm offering on Fridays. And it's gonna be drop-in like Z School for the Gifted. There were some folks who were coming to me about tapping into their divine feminine energy and how to magnetize and like all sorts of things. So I created that class. And all the classes are $22 unless you're in the Divine Academy, which is like a subscription for everything included and private coaching with me. So yeah, I'm super excited for that too because how can you not? How can you not love love? Love is amazing. What other kind of trouble are you all getting into? I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. I'm going to go in a little bit. I'm getting tired, but for a long time. It's been a busy day. Just back to back to back to back to back driving. And I feel so full of emotions. I just had a lot of fun. Did you all have fun today? I just want to know all the things. That's interesting, Archangel Michael energy of what you are wanting. That's a great way to describe it. Someone also said, I wanted to share, just sidetracking on divine messengers. You know what I appreciated? He said, because we were talking about how sometimes God will just tell you when it's time to go on a journey. And I was like, yeah, I've done that a few times in my life. And it's sometimes scary because you don't know what's going to happen. Like you can't see. And there's people who try and control that, right? Like I see that in some people around in my close proximity of always trying to plan certain things. But when you're a messenger or a healer like myself, it's like when God knocks, you answer. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You do exactly what you're told, right? You are obedient in things because it's likely to go help a lot of people. And a lot of folks have trouble surrendering to that because they want to know everything. They want the safety net. Um they want their life to look a certain way on paper, but God is miraculous. So why would God make your life look normal on paper to begin with? And I'm like, even if you look at the Bible, was there anything normal? No. Um, and he had said, and I loved the way he expressed this. He had said he had been doing the same thing because he was older than me. He had been doing the same thing a lot of my life, or a lot of his life, and that he consider it like a scavenger hunt. You never know the rest of the puzzle until you get the first piece. And I was like, I was like, that's exactly how it feels. And he was like saying how he always carried that with him because he's like, every day is different when you walk with God. And he was talking about African diaspora and just being gifted and melanin and all these things. And we just had a really open conversation. But I wanted to share that because it was so cool to make that comparison. Because I've always tried to, like no matter how many times I tell people or my friends or whatever, I'm just like, you just have to take the first step and then let God catch you. Let God catch you. But a lot of people are scared to take that leap of faith. And he knew it. Like he had a perfect way of explaining it. And he just was like, every day for him is a leap of faith. And he never knew what was going to happen next, but he knew that God was going to catch him. Um, and I just was saying thank you to him because again, like I'm taking a leap of faith in my own life that's quite large. And I needed to hear that. And I was glad that I had met him. And if I didn't take a leap of faith like I did and all the things that I've done, and also decided to not work today and go hang out with my friends, I wouldn't have met him either. I'll say I started posting on YouTube, still working on my nervous system and everything. Yay! I'm so excited. Wait, Path of Light, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of everybody. You're welcome to come to Magic to Market if you need any help. Last Z School for the Gifted, not Z School for the Gifted, Magic to Market, we went over the back end of YouTube and how to use it and how to like set yourself up for success and like push your way towards monetizing and things like that and things that you needed to know. So if you ever need help, let me know. Anybody here on any of the platforms. I like that puzzle statement. Yeah, right? It sits different because, when you think about a scavenger hunt, it's like all of the pieces also go together so you can have the full thing. And the pieces are already there. You just have to like find it. But it makes it fun. And that's what life is about. And um, yeah, I don't know, when he said that, it just brought me like so much peace, and I wanted to pass it on to everybody else. It brought me a different type of peace because I've made leaps of faith before, but I needed a different type of peace, piece of the puzzle. And he just was like, he was asking me what my name is. I said Z, but he knew it was short for something, and I told him, and he was just like, Ngozi. It's just you will get to the first piece of the puzzle. And I was like, you're great. Because that's what it is. But we spend so much time like thinking about how we can take all the pieces of the puzzle without going on the journey. And the isolation and the hermit and the healing and all of that really helps you to prepare for that scavenger hunt of life, right? Isn't that so cool? I thought it was the coolest thing ever. He's a very enlightened person, and I loved talking to him. And he was like, see, And I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, I talk to many people and they don't know. I was like, I know. Well, everything happens for a reason. Scavenger life hunt? What? And sometimes when you go on that scavenger hunt, the pieces are so much better than you thought because you're not God. Newsflash. And I was thinking about the other times that I had taken leaps of faith, and it was always so much better than I thought. I left home one time with like barely any money. Barely. I think maybe I had $110 or something like that. I had a broken ass iPad. I had like 3 outfits, but God said, get ready. And I was like, for what, homie? I was like, you must be miraculous because I don't know if you see what's in my bank account. And now I'm here. Are y'all taking leaps of faith? Kyla. Okay, great. Thank you. I try to remember people's names. I'm not always good at it, but I try because of people's handles. Yeah. How beautiful was that though? Right? Like it's so powerful to run into divine messengers. There's nothing like it. There's nothing on the face of the earth when you meet someone who's a messenger. I love when you share stories. I literally get inspired. Oh, yay. You should be. I was talking to my friends. I was like, just go. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm like, life has been so amazing, even though I hit a lot of hardship. I needed to learn. But also, those hardships led me to the people who have literally changed my life and led me right here. And then I was like, it's just numbers. It's made up stupid things in a system that tell us they're valuable. But it's like if you're on your divine path, God protects you in many ways, and so do your ancestors. There's so many times when I don't even know how I got that lucky. Things were just off by a number or two, so something couldn't get to me to protect me. That's why I always believe. I always take leaps of faith, even if I'm scared. I will literally like, I mean, when I walked out that door, I had no idea where I was going. I just knew I needed to leave with that person for whatever reason, and I did. And it was the best decision of my life, even though it became one of the hardest things towards the end. I don't regret it. I will never ever regret it. And I feel like the hardest part was, friends and family kind of judging me for those decisions. But I'm like, you don't walk my path and you have no idea what I just did. Like, you have no idea the impact I just made on the world because God asked me to walk out that door. It doesn't make sense on paper, and I don't know why God does it like this. And I don't like someone today was like, it's like living as an apostle. And I was like, that is also a great way to put it. Like going out and helping people and sharing messages. There's no plan. There is no plan. And people try to plan. And I would love to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I've got this like plan. I don't have a fucking plan. I don't have a, God's my plan. God has always been my plan. That's why I can experience these divine messengers because I said, God, lead me. Lead me in your way. I don't want to lead. I don't want to do it. You do it. I was like, I'll experience it no matter how hard it gets. Careful what you wish for. No matter how hard it gets, I would not change my life whatsoever. I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. Money, no money. Home, no home. The fact that like I get to encounter God as much as I do, and angels and deities as much as I do, fucking aliens as much as I do, like the creepy ballerina in the middle of nowhere, that is priceless. That is living. I would much rather be doing that than to be stuck in a 9 to 5 trying to make my rent. No, thank you. I wanna know what's out in the world, and I wanna help people. So if God's like, "Here's your way to help people." Okay, you want me to write how many books? Got it. You want me to say what? You just want me to get online and tell people what you did in my life? Done. Can I see another alien, please? Then can I write about it and turn it into something cool? He's like, "Yes, and also help people with fentanyl." N Done. Where do you want me to go? Right? It's just like, why choose a boring life? I wanna get to that level of trust. You can, it's just practice. And to be honest, like, detach. You have to embed it so deeply into your mind, body, and spirit that your only truth is you are protected. That is your only truth. And that is how you defy everything. Everything. The things that I've seen, the things that I've done, how psychic I am, I'm not doing that by myself. But it's because I know without a shadow of a doubt, God gives me these gifts, and I know that many things are illusions, and I know the power of the mind to trap me. And so I lean into something, even if I can't see it, I can sense it. And the fact that I've seen so many messengers and met so many people that it's like, it would be stupid for me to not believe it. It would be literally dumb. Like, God sends me so many messages. If I'm just sitting, I met someone. Okay, let me slow down. I met someone in a thrift store. I told the story before. I met someone in a thrift store. God would have me like put myself in a very specific thrift store. And one of the days he told me to go back, and I went back, and then I met this person. I was like, oh my gosh, I just brought this over, and it was a bunch of like Gucci bags or whatever I bought or something. I was selling them. And he was like, or she was like, why would you do that? These are so great. And I was like, because I get to see you be happy. I don't need them, right? I did what I needed to do. And then it ended up that their son like worked for the Grammys and all these things. And they started asking about mediumship and that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, like you sense I'm a medium, clearly. But they were also heavily connected to God. And we don't talk, but God talks to her a lot. And some days I'll be sitting, and some I have hard days. I have hard days because the amount of trust and isolation that you go into when sometimes you work with God is hard, and you face a lot of fears. I face a lot of fears. And some days I will just sit and cry, and then my phone will start binging, and it'll be people sending me passages from the Bible about strength. And then all of a sudden, I will hear that song, Do Not Be Afraid, I Am With You, and all these different things. It's just like an overflow of like God's energy. And then they'll send me like masculines to like come help me, come fill my cup, come protect me, come like take me out on a date, come. It's like God literally just goes, "You're okay. Get back up." Cause I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't do this by myself anymore. And God's like, you're not alone. Here you go. You're fine. It's miraculous. It's literally miraculous. I'm with you on that divinely guided path. No one has to understand, and it's not for them. It's just for us to experience and grow love with and learn spontaneity is the best. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like help humanity. I mean, I do everything I do for humanity. And I've come across many people who have hated me because of that. It's really weird, but it is what it is. And some people, are like, how is it that you get so many messages from God? Well, I love God. And also, I'm here to help humanity, which is all of God's children. So why wouldn't I have a close connection to God? Logically, it makes sense. Yes, me too. I'm taking the information and downloading it in my mind as she's speaking. I'm just saying yes to everything. She is saying yes to my heart. Oh, yay. Yes, to soak it in. Like, life is so much better than we think, but it's been so tainted by religion sometimes. It's hard to see. I'm done trying to plan every moment. I'm just letting it be an experience and relax and laughing and loving it. Yeah, absolutely. Especially where you're out on your phase. Just receive. Be in your divine feminine energy. I definitely have moments where like and that's what's so great, right? Like leaning into spirit because spirit can then bring the masculine energy to me or to you when you're ready. Like I need like part of my divine path is my business and helping people. And I can't do that without masculine energy. And so when my cup is drained, God sends in the helpers. And that tiny woman at church, she told me that in the very beginning. There are many things that she told me when I first got there, and all of them have come true. All of them have come true. That's why we were crying. Um, and she was just said, God is sending you who you need. Just hold on. And I was like, just started crying. And I was like, I'm so tired. It's like, I'm so tired. But it just, yeah, enjoy every moment. There's no point in trying to rush. And, there's going to be certain times too in your life where God's going to need you to work really hard. And that time will come, just like rest will come. My life has been kind of like half and half. I've shared on other lives. I go to very specific readers that God tells me to go to every once in a while. Most of the time, God just talks. But, you know, like there's time for rest and there's time for grit. And sometimes God puts you into some grit and you have to keep going. And it's not it's not always easy, and that's okay. But I will say that you will always be helped. And I also wouldn't have been able to receive that divine masculine help and messengers if I didn't go outside. That's why I'm always encouraging people to go outside, because God can only do so much when you're inside, but the people are outside. And when you're on that journey of moving around and like being a healer and doing all that stuff, more messengers can find you, which makes it easier. Like when I was traveling around for a year, and this is what I told this man about, I was like, God revealed many things to me. I never knew where I was going to stay until God sent someone to tell me where to stay. And it made it so much comfortable, so much more comfortable. Like, even though that feels like a weird thing to say, because people are like, oh, I need to like book a hotel a month in advance. I was like, no, sometimes God wouldn't tell me where to go until that day that I checked out. And then he would tell me, and then I would make my way there. And that's how I would find people. It was never like, God wasn't like, here's your monthly plan. I was like, no, I need you to take this Uber today. I need you to pack your bag with snacks and water and things for people on the street. I need you to put your books in here. I need you to talk to these people, and I need you to go buy this from this store to help this woman. And then I need you to, like, that's how God would speak. But a lot of people can't live like that. And it's not for everyone. The letting go, the not planning. And then, I had the learning curve of running my business. I was like, oh no, you want me to plan? Now I'm plan stupid. But now I just run my business on my intuition, but there are things that I have to do in the earthly realm, which is why masculines are so great, because I just lean on them to help me, because I have to stay up here to help deliver messages down here, and manifesting folks to help me with my business that have more masculine energy that can like push things along, because I'm like, homie, I'm counting stars right now and talking to God. I don't know how to run that email thing. It's not my thing. Not my thing. I'm like, did it even send? Who knows? This is complicated. Someone else needs to do that. But yeah, it all comes down to trust. Comes down to trust. And there were days too where I was definitely scared. I was scared when I started to run out of money. But also I was dealing with many other things, and a not so great friendship, and God redirecting me. Um, and then blessing me with my Icarus tattoo on my back when I messed up. When I messed up, and I learned my lesson. But it's still so much fun. I would much rather live that life and help people. I met so many fun people, and I had experiences and drove many places and saw where my ancestors were, and reservations, and met the Orishas in nature, and Shango and thunder, and like there were many, many things that I can't even explain, seeing my friend in Miami and my other friend being a Grammy member and having all these conversations and learning about music and recording in a sky rise and night swimming and living time of my life and driving fast cars in the middle of the night in Miami from a concert, eating candy. Like, God does weird things for you as like a thank you for all of the work and just letting go. That's not to say that you just do things so that you can have that freedom, right? Because sometimes people will say, okay, if I do this, then will I be blessed by God? I'm like, well, that's not the point. You already are blessed by God because you woke up today. Sometimes your blessing is different. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's internet. Sometimes it's having a business. Doesn't mean your business is going to make tangible money. It's just a blessing, right? You still have to work for it. And again, just being able to exist is such a blessing. Every day, before I even open my eyes, I thank God just to say how grateful I am. And I thank all my energies around me just for surrounding me and delivering me great messages. And I'm just so grateful. Sometimes I sit in front of my altar and I cry. I cry and I cry and I cry because I can hear them, I can sense them, I can feel them, I can see them when I'm out at festivals like I was today. And I never feel like I need anything because God always gives me things, even down to friendship. As weird as it comes, people with Bible verses. That never used to happen. That's how I was like, it would be weird for me not to trust because it's so miraculous. The fact that God just divinely does things when I'm sad or when I'm upset or I feel lost. God doesn't leave you ever. And there's this prayer that I always say to myself, but I don't always share it. And I have shared before that, the church that I found, obviously sent by God, they always have a prayer team up at the front at the end, and I always get prayer. I'm like chomping at the bits about it. And God said some funny things through them this time, and it was very comedic. And I was laughing, and the person praying started laughing too. And they're like, like, they got uncomfortable. I was like, it's fine. It's just how messages come through sometimes when I'm sad. Um, and they also said that prayer that I say to God is just a confirmation of, I hear you. I'll say things throughout the day just to see if God's listening on a Sunday. And then I go to church, and then the prayer person repeats things that I've said that day as a way for me to get used to, because sometimes when you're heavily traumatized, you have this fear of not being heard, not being seen, people disappearing, things not working out, even though God has said, the dog days are over. Literally is how it comes out. But you have to learn that. And so building your connection with God is so massively important because it just becomes so quiet. It becomes so seamless that it's like, even if I try to turn away on accident, God's there. God's always there, always watching out for me, always looking out, always sending me messages, always sending me love, sending me people, sending me resources. The money is always there when I need it, like no matter what, even if it doesn't look the way that I thought it would look. And all God asks is for people to like love each other and be kind and help and take leaps of faith, and it's hard for people to do that. But I get it because we live in a very tangible world, but God is not always something tangible. Right. I constantly speak to my lungs, heart, eyes. I love that. I'm so grateful for breath and for people like you accelerating lessons for me. Yay! We love you, Ancient Eyes. Gratitude to the soul and the spirit. Yeah. Just say thank you. The person today, when I was talking to him, because he like he gives me this energy of like he's a gatherer. I said some what did I call him? Can't remember, but he has this energy of bringing ancestor energy together. And he's such a gift, but he's also quite a protector. And he was like, he's like, I know this sounds maybe weird, but I follow the tingles at the tip of my toes and my fingertips. And that's where God tells me where to go. And he was like, and if you still can't find me, like it was a very interesting way of like how I could find him. He was like, I walk this direction when the sun is out, and I walk this direction when the sun is going down. And he was like, I do it all the time. And I just go where God tells me to go. And I was like, okay, yep, that slow path to faith and trust with God. That's where I've been. Yay. Yeah. It takes healing. It takes time. It takes time. And then how great is it that, you know, God is so unconditionally loving that even when you try and run away, God still loves you. Even if you're like, God, God's like, I still love you. We'll see you in 5 seconds. I'm like, are you even listening? Ping, 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 ping. Bible verses, my Bible falls down. This happens. God said this happens. I'm like, all right, you're listening. I get it. Speaking of which, slow burn, yeah. Once you can surrender to the trust, it's great. And I mean, you're always kind of surrendering, to be honest, because it, like once you take one leap of faith, God asks you to take an even bigger one the next time. Well, they don't tell you. Confirmation. Motorcycles. It gets bigger and bigger, the leaps of faith. You just leap and just say, God, catch me. There was one day I was like having a panic attack, basically, because I had to invest in something. And I was like, you are really pushing me to the edge, sir. And I was like, God, catch me, God, catch me, God, catch me, God, catch me, God, catch me. Catch me, please catch me. So then I was like, "Ah." And then I went to church and the prayer people were like, I'm hearing God also say that God's gonna catch you. I was like, oh my goodness. I felt out. I'm sweating. Oh my gosh, you're so describing my day. I was angry, yelling at God, punching pillows, but after I woke up, I was like, I'm sorry and I love you so much. Yeah. Sometimes you do that, right? Sometimes it happens. That unconditional love. I was talking to one of my clients about that because I feel like in More Than Worthy, it's like, oh yeah, I know my clients will sometimes like want to curse at me, do all the things. And it's like, I still care for you. I'm still going to hold space for you. I'm not going anywhere over the 6 months, and you're still going to do your healing. So you can be mad about it. You're going to heal, it'll pass, and I'll still be here. They leave and they come back and they're like, I'm really glad that you told me the truth. It's like, I know. It sucks when it happens, but you get over it. And God's the same way. We're not always going to like what God is about to reveal to us. God will just reveal all your dirty ass laundry and be like, it's time to heal it. Like, I didn't make that mountain full of poo poo. God's like, yeah, you did, but I still love you. And I forgive you for poo pooing in my house. Idiola. I took a nap today and you were in my dream and you told me Pachamama really wants to work with me. And we hugged and I left up some mountainy path. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Pachamama loves you. Have you started working with Pachamama? Oh my gosh, Benita. Hi everyone. How are you, Benita? How was your recording? How was recording your music? What a magical time to be alive. Yep, does visit dreams. I feel like the more we work together, the more I start visiting people in dreams. I definitely will. Even friends that I haven't talked to in a long time will randomly message me and be like, hey, your fairy version of yourself was in my dream last night teaching me something. And I was like, great, getting the work done. Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework assignment? I bet you didn't. That's why I was in your dream. Teach Z on the scene to help you out. It was amazing. I had some attachment wounds come up. I was able to get past them very easily. Yay. That happens. We were talking about attachments in this live. You just get better and better at healing them and trusting again. We trust no matter what it looks like. You know what else was magical? Beneath, I feel like you would really like this. Um, Today when I was talking to this person, he stood there and he looks me in the eye and he goes, he was like, see, they don't know everything that we know. And I was like, oof, this is getting good. I wish I had a recorder that whole time. He was gold. Um, he was like, they don't know everything that we know. And he was like, see, the 144,000, we're all gonna come together at one point. And he just went on this whole thing, and it was like so intense. And I was like, yes, yes, we are. It made me think of you, Benita. And he was like, basically, like, we'll always find each other. We're always here to help. We're meant to help humanity. And I was like, I know. That's why we like connect like that, because we're making, all the little pieces ow come together. And and that whole conversation was about him sharing a bunch of knowledge. And he was like, what else do you need? What else do you need? Like it's like the 144 messengers, right? We always help each other. We always give divine messages so that we can help each other on our destined paths. And whether or not we cross again, we don't know. But we do come together in the end. And that's what's so cool. And when he said that, I just was like, I know. It was so powerful. It was such a moment. We need to come together and cry it out, the struggles and the joy we reach afterwards. Yeah, we all should. We should throw a giant 144 party and be like, we made it. We should manifest that right now. Start manifesting it. 3 years time. We say we made it and we did it. And boy, was that a hard mission. Diggity dog. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. That sounds his magical moment of connection. Yeah, it was powerful, very powerful. But that really stuck. Everything he said stuck with me. And then he started talking about Black Panthers and all those things. And there was this man there who creates his art through with his ancestors' energy. They tell him what to create, basically. And he had in Sacramento, like one of the first cases of, I think it was like the Panthers, one of them being accused of like ending basically a white person, but it wasn't true. And it was him and like three or four other attorneys, and he was sharing the story. And I just thought it was really powerful. And then I got to talk to him about it because um, my auntie was a Panther. And yeah, it was wild. It was a very amazing experience. I feel honored for messengers. Like, that's why I love being so gifted. I love teaching people about being so gifted because there's so much healing and power in what we do that you can stop worrying about everyday things because we're here to help. Yes, party time. Happy Sunday, Benita and Ella. Let me know if I spelled the name correctly. Um, there's no E, I think. It's cool what we do. It's so cool what we do. It truly was a hard mission, yeah. And even then, it's like, was it? Is it? It's hard for our ego, but is it truly, truly hard? Maya is what makes it hard. So our goal as a collective is to release Maya so that it's not hard. It's never hard, but we think it is hard. It feels hard. I would say that too. But even more reason and even more space to do our work, right? There is no hard. Isn't that weird? Johnny. Yeah. Oh, you're all so sweet, wishing each other happy Sunday. Yeah, Z School for the Gifted folks. I might have to change Thursday's class to Wednesday, potentially. What do you think about that? Are you able to make it on Wednesday? I'm gonna drop it in the group chat too. I have a very important call on Thursday. Um, I might just have to move the live up. It's too hard for the ego. Ego is really egotistical. Yeah, the irony. It's like, is it hard? And talking to him, he put a lot of light on that again. And I loved it. It was such a beautiful reminder. I will make it Wednesday. Okay. What about the rest of you? Z School for the Gifted, Shawnee, Ediala, anybody else? Angela, new folks on the call who are coming from mirror work? Shawnee, oh, thank you. I was trying. Yeah, you were close. Um, wow. What a time. You're free Wednesday. Okay, great. Okay, you can do Wednesday. I'll check in with King Grizzly and everyone. God needs me on a call on Thursday, so I'm trying to adjust my calendar. It isn't easy to meet as many high vibrational men. He sounds wise. It's not easy until you heal yourself. I meet high vibrational men almost every day. I thought the same thing for a long time, but it's not true. It's only true because it feels like a truth. I meet them literally every day. Every day. And even if I meet them even more, if I'm at the river, it's like, I don't know how it happens, but it happens. Meet very high vibrational men, right? It's a reflection of our energy. If we believe that, then that is our truth. I don't believe that. I actually had a moment, my energy got a little off for a while, and I needed to cut some people out of my life. Because I was like, "Oh, I'm going downhill." Um, and then I found like an older piece of myself that was still holding on just a little bit to what I thought about men providers from the pain that I experienced in the past. And then I sunk so deeply. I wonder if it's in my notebook. I could see if it's in there. What my breakthrough, I literally circled it. I could probably go back and find it. Ever since that day, ever since that day where it just like clicked, I've only met high vibrational men since then. High vibrational men who are single and have kids. I am coming again. Yay! Wednesday could work. Yay! Awesome. Yes, everyone's welcome. That is true. Thanks for calling me out again. You know how I do, right? We are a reflection. We are a reflection. When I met that high vibrational man, I was like, "Ah, I'm so grateful for the work that I have been pressed into." But I found a lot of gratitude for men and what they provide and how I'm gonna get my notebook, see if I can find it. Let me see, let me see. Was nervous. Yes, my butt cheeks. I'm transitioning to change the belief system. Yeah. Well, it's also why I started the love class. Hold on. Let's see how far back I can go. It's probably real big. I never show anybody my notebook. This is actually, I have many notebooks, but this is one of them. Let me see if I can find it. It may not be an aha for everybody, but it's definitely an aha for me. And my own trauma. Watch me look back on it and I'm like, it may not even be in this notebook. Oh, look, I was having a bad day. I drew something pretty and then I scratched it out. It's like, no, maybe it's not in here. I don't know where it is. I'm gonna look one more time and then I'm over it. I do have a quote. I'm sharing this again because I love this quote. I will do the best I can with the resources I have, and I will say yes and figure it out later. I highlighted it so I wouldn't forget. My coach always talked about it. She was like, "That's what helped me take a leap of faith to Dubai, even though everybody called me crazy." And now she's like a famous teacher and chef. Um, I really want to find this because I feel like you're really gonna like it. Who is this person? I keep seeing their name everywhere. Sometimes if I see people or like it just the energy keeps coming up, I'll write it all randomly in my notebook. Like I was looking through my other notebook. I don't know if anybody followed me when I was doing this on TikTok, but I was drawing things that were either people who passed away or just people. And I went back in my notebook and that person from Afghanistan, I had drawn them. I had drawn them. Everything I draw seems to pop up. So I started drawing a lot of things. I should start drawing in there again. Oh, here it was. Here it was. I'm dehydrated. Shh, nobody talk about it. Okay, this was a while back. So, I don't even know. I had written my own, like I channeled my own love questions, and then I decided to answer them. Sometimes I do that. That's why I know I'm also meant to be a coach because it just comes so naturally to me, healing myself. Um, so the question was basically, oh, I didn't write it down for this one. Um, that means it's in my phone. I typed it somewhere. Hold on, people, hold on. This is really gonna be worth it. And then all of you can answer it. Here we go. I made a whole section about it. I do this because I know God needs me to reuse it. That's how I know. I always know. That's what used to happen with all my other programs. God was like, write down your own healing. It's like, okay. Okay. One, two, three. One of the questions was, what does being well provided for mean to me financially, emotionally, energetically? And then, have I ever rejected or distrusted masculine generosity? Why? That one was a good one. Um, who taught me what to expect from men? What did I learn explicitly or silently about being taken care of? I think this one's number 4. Yeah. But basically, I had gone down this like rabbit hole. I had gone down this rabbit hole and wrote, um, oh, here's another one. What do I really believe about what do I really believe about men with money? Do I believe I can be adored and abundantly supported? Do I believe I can receive without being controlled? Those were also some good ones. You should answer them in the chat if you want. Oh, maybe it was this one. What does financial support from a man represent to me? Yeah, that was the one for anybody who was looking for a provider. Those are some great questions for you. Um, but I had gone into this list of like what it represented for me. And I was like, I'm just gonna write until I feel like in my stomach. Um, and I had written that it represented love unconditionally, safety for me to rest, kindness, them saying, I love you so much. I want you to never want for anything. Like that, I like as I was writing, I was like, who knew? Or worry about anything. Um, and then I wrote like in their voice. I wrote in their voice saying like, I love you, Z, you deserve everything your heart desires just because you exist. Literally after I wrote this, it was like man central. Um, I also wrote financial support means I can have babies who live and don't pass away. That one's actually quite sad, but it was true. It's what happened the last time. Um, because I will be living stress free. It was stress that, landed. You know what I mean? It's hard to talk about. Um, and I also put that their financial support means they also respect me. They're giving to me in their language, their hard-earned money, so I'm going to love it eternally. This is how I journal, everybody. Um, oh, here was another one that also helped. Um, where do I still carry shame or fear around being taken care of? Answer it in the chat, everybody. I want to know. Um, so I had actually written, I feel shame that people will judge me for receiving, because my family always judged me when I asked for help. Um, the whole sugar daddy thing. Um, oh yeah, I had written I felt shame even admitting that I needed a man in my life. I wrote that. I'm telling you everything. I hope this is helping you. Um, I said I need them. I can't do this alone. Period. Um, I was fearing that being taken care of meant control because I people have tried to control me a lot with money. My last husband was like that. He controlled because he gave me money, it meant that he could also control me. My dad was the same way. Whenever I needed money or needed things for school, like I needed money for books, and he wouldn't send me the money. He would send me an iPod without a box that was brand new, so I couldn't return it, like that kind of stuff. Um, um, and I put like it meant control that it means I'm no longer free. But this is what I put. It means that I'm no longer free, but then I literally put "but," and then I had a little bit of a breakdown. I was like, "But doesn't the money mean they want me to be free?" And then I wrote all big, I put, "They give me money so I can be free." And just, like, underlined it a bunch and was like, "Oh!" Like, I had to keep coming back, like, it was like, "Okay, I'm getting closer," and I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm not free, but that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I was like, we are making progress here. We're making progress. Everybody, pat Z on the back. Thank you. Thank you. Those bring up a lot for me. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, yeah, I just want people to be able to heal. I also am a very transparent person. Um, and I believe in sharing. Even if you're a teacher, like it's okay to like share certain things, especially if you've been able to heal through it. Um, because we should be able to talk about this. I think it's important. And I'm not the only one who experienced it, right? I deserve to be loved and cared by a man financially simply because I exist, right? My energy of love I have for the world is enough to be provided for financially by a man. Yeah, even if you didn't have love for the world and you just existed, right? Yeah. There's people out there who want to support you. It was very hard for me to get used to, like, when God started sending all these masculines into my life, it was very hard for me to get used to it, and that's why he started at the church. For some reason, my church has very masculine men who are very sweet and who provide and, like, protect their family, and even if you are a woman who is, like, a part of the church, they're very, like, they respect you, they open doors, like, I never have to worry about anything. I don't think I've ever really thrown away my own trash. And they just take care of you. They just watch over you. I'm like, "Oh, I feel so safe here. I feel so safe. I do not need to return anything when supported by a man financially." Yeah, just receive it. That was something my coach had said, you know, if you still feel indebted, something to heal. Can you put these questions in the group chat? I'm cooking. Perhaps. I love that you're always cooking. What are you cooking? Yeah, these questions were great. It'll also be in here in the recording. Um, and then there was one about, let me see. If I trusted that my desires were divine, how would I show up in dating now? That one was a good one. Um, and then I just kind of filled out as I would and will now, blah, 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 blah. See my worth, take nothing less than financial stability, take nothing less than financial stability I deserve. That's what happened. And I put value every dollar they spend on me preciously and honor it with pride. Why, thank you for your hard-earned money. Oh, I also put open my energy to provider men. Sometimes you gotta do that. You think your energy is open and then it's not. It's not whatsoever. Like the man I met in the store, his son, you could just tell it was his energy just gave very masculine provider energy, and he had a son. His son was just like talking, talking, talking. He was a teen, just like wouldn't stop talking, and he was so stressed out. He was so stressed. It was the funniest thing in the whole wide world. And then he turned around and saw me and like really wanted to talk, but didn't really know what to say. So he just said something random about work. Um, it was funny. I may have told this. I don't remember. I can't tell right now. My memory's all off. He said something about work because that was clearly what was in his energy, and I feel like that just happens. Like men talk about work a lot. And I tried to encourage him, you know, like I'm sure this week will be better than last week. He just was like so stressed out. Like but also his kid was like a lot. Like I was the kid didn't even it didn't like wasn't even phased. I don't even think he was breathing in between sentences. He just was talking and I was just like oh my gosh, he was like, you're going to combust. Are you okay? I just want to say what's up, all. Let y'all get women chat on. Thanks. Thank you for sharing your vulnerability. Helps me acknowledge the parts of me I do not acknowledge. Of course. Happy to share. How do you know if someone has provider energy? You can feel it. You can feel it. Um, well, one, I can see it, so that kind of cheats. I can see people's environment and what they have in their life, not like money wise, but like how they move. Um, and also just how they interact with you. They literally want to care for you. They provide for you in whatever way, shape, or form. Like, I think there was or they just wanna protect you. They have an instinct. They have an instinct in them to take care of you, protect you, like, make sure life is easy for you. Um, there was one time I was outside my friend's apartment, like, she had just done my hair, and this guy walked up, and he was like, "I" he, like, didn't know what to say, and he's like, "I just can I be your bodyguard? I really feel like I need to protect you." I was like, "I I would love a bodyguard. I don't know, like, I, like, can't pay for that right now." I was like, "Thanks for offering." He was like, "I don't really care what I am to you, I just wanna help you." And I was like, "Thank you. Thank you." Thank you, Z. I'm cooking yum! Sweet potatoes, green beans from my farmer's market trip. Farmer's market! Stay in your divine feminine. Today, I'm gonna make some basmati rice seasoned with some garlic, salt, turmeric. Yum! And some smoked paprika. I love it. Are you eating your salmon? I've been really enjoying men opening doors for me recently. Yeah, just let them open it. Just stand there. That's what I told the guy today. It was great. He was like, yeah, this was his advice. I forgot to say this. He had advice. He was telling people to go to the steakhouse place in town because it's really good. But he doesn't eat meat, but he was using it as an example. He was like, sometimes when I tell women like they should go to the steakhouse, they're like, but I don't know how to make steak and I don't want to blah blah blah. And then he was like, I need you to get together. Like basically like he was like, then find you a man who knows how to make the steak or go with a man, have him do it. Like have him do. He's like, I need you to understand how to take advantage of the situation of being a woman with a man. I was like, it's the funniest conversation. He was like, there are men out there who want to take care of you, but you are just sitting there like, "Ah, it's like, do something about it." I was like, I appreciate this conversation. I don't eat steak, so I won't be going there, but I do stand outside of doors and try not to do much so someone else can do it. And he was like, as it should be. But it was really funny. It made me laugh. it made me laugh. He was also quite the comedian. Um, but yeah, being open to masculine energy, you have to consciously do it, you know? Like you have to let them lead. I think I've talked about this on another live, like I don't even walk towards them. I don't. Like, because it's an energy thing. Because I want to see also if they can lead, and I don't want to like for instance, if I'm doing something and they need to grab something or do something, like I will remain in that spot and wait for them to come back, right? Like that kind of stuff. Um, letting them lead and do all the things. It's how you stay in that energy. Um, yeah, you just kind of know they want to take care of you. Like I have some friends who are very they want to take care of me, masculines. They just sometimes they just say it. Sometimes they just say it. But usually they'll show it, but you have to give them the space to be able to show it. So I actually in the beginning I don't really talk a lot because they'll end up talking quite a bit and I want to listen because I want to receive what they are saying. Um, and I'll say like small things, small things. But also I'm not a very talkative person in person sometimes, unless I like am comfortable with you and I think you're funny, then I'll say funny things. Um, yeah, they'll just naturally do it. They'll provide in whatever resource that they have, safety, love, whatever. Opening door handles? No, pulling on door handles, opening doors. I had salmon last weekend. Ooh, yum, lots of it. Not this weekend. I've been needing something different. As long as you're getting your protein in, my friend. Also trying to hydrate a bit more with fruits. Yes, definitely do that. Eat your watermelons, that kind of stuff. Fabulous idea. I'm going to try that. Just stay around the door. Yeah, I do it all the time. Unless I literally have to open the door, I'm not opening it. Like if no one's around, I have to open it. But like I even found that when I did that, even women started opening the door for me. I was like, this is working quite well. And just exist and receive. And, you know, I like sometimes even if I'm in a parking lot, like a grocery parking lot, if I just walk from my car towards the store, someone will hand me a cart. Someone will literally hand me a cart every time if I just leave and I put stuff in my car, or they'll offer to put stuff in my car. Someone will take the cart away. And I was like, I don't even remember the last time I looked at one of those cart things. You just in this energy of just receiving, people just want to help you. It's weird. It's really weird, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. But yeah, you can also just use your energy to read people. You'll feel their strength too. Like I'm really big on like energetic strength, but also physical strength. I need someone who's physically fit because usually if they're also physically fit, there's some sort of spiritually fit. Not always, but sometimes you can feel them go hand in hand. Um, if they're really good at managing their money, even if they don't have like a ton of money, but they're good at like taking care of themselves, taking care of whatever they need. Like if they're good at taking care of things, they are probably a very good provider. If they are consistent about it, like they're prioritizing, you know, their work and like that kind of stuff. But pay attention to their actions because their actions are always going to show you if they are providers. They will literally give you things, organize things, plan things. Any masculine in the past, because I haven't met any recently, um, who doesn't like plan things or like take the initiative, I stay far away from them. Providers don't do that. They don't do that at all. I also kind of stay away from um, some men who can be quite insecure. Like they verbalize it. Even if they say they are providers, it scares them. So they're not really providers, which I get, like, because sometimes there is that pressure of, you know, some people, some women, some femmes just want the financial providers, which also makes sense in a world where you need money to do things. Um, but I also feel like sometimes that can be challenging on masculines as well. And so they are forced to do different types of healing to work through that. And sometimes it's uncomfortable for them, and sometimes masculines thrive. Hi, everyone. Hi, Juanita. Hello, hello. Let me see. There was also, oh, I also did a candle working after I, excuse me. I also did a candle working after I did all my questions. There was another one. Um, I did mirror work. Okay, here's one for everybody. What kind of man am I currently energetically allowing? And then in parentheses, be honest. Write it in the chat. What kind of men have been showing up in your life? This was like the biggest proof, right? What kind of men have you currently been energetically allowing? And you have to be honest. No lying. If you lie, you only shortcut yourself. So, shortcut in the other kind of shortcut. Because the other one is, where am I still settling or being vague in my standards? What kind of men have you all been attracting? Every man that we attract is a reflection of who we are. My friends actually called me out today because I realize sometimes if I'm feeling quite traumatized, because sometimes being around certain people, I will avoid like eye contact, everything to protect myself, and I will forget to turn that off when I'm outside. And my friends were like, "Are you not seeing these men at all?" And I was like, I was literally staring at the bubbles this little kid was blowing up into the sky. I was like, "What men are you talking about?" And then I was like, I think I need to go back to my homework assignment, which you all can do. When you come across masculines, you can do 5. My friend said 5 in a day. Um, Make eye contact and stare at them for a little bit. Connect. It's great. So I did that while I was there, and then um he was like, "Hey," there was an energy thing there, and he was like, "I feel like I know you." And then I just was like, "I don't want to do this right now. No." And my friend was like, "Sit down, see." She was like, "You don't have to marry him." But that's what I want, so. Eh. Okay, so Ideala said insecure men. Ah, so you're also insecure. What type of insecurity? What type of insecurity are they displaying? Benita, what type of men are you attracting? Shawnee, anybody else want to answer? And or Angela, you're in a relationship, I think, right? Juanita, if you're not, what type of men are you attracting? Also, Z School for the Gifted Family. Have you read or listen to Mango Manifestations, it's out on Substack. My friend also called me, my other friend also called me out because I forgot to post about it. Insecure man. Mm, I really want to know what type. Financial insecurities and insecurities with their physical appearance. Ah, do you feel the same in you, Ideala? To be honest, do you feel under pressure with your money? I'm married. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you for answering that. Yes, yes, I do. Yeah. So heal those parts of you so you can reflect a different man back to you. You must heal those parts. What money wounds do you have? What insecurities do you have about your body? How you present? Yep, definitely not provider men. If so, providers, some ego around money. This was a few months back. What do you mean ego around money? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're always a reflection of us. When I really shifted, even my male friends shifted because mine, and I saw it, and I was like, what is happening here? And they're like, see, I will wait for you. I was like, wait for me to what? To what? They're like, I will always be here for you. What is going on here? What? Like, I will always take care of you. I thought, what's happening here? You weren't even talking before. Now you're talking? Writing love letters? It makes sense. I have been working on letting go of money attachments. Yeah. Wow, I just realized even the woman I dated. Wait, see, this is why we're here. This is why we're here. So you can release. We can get these manifestations out and about, right? There's always a pattern. There's always a pattern. Hmm. This last person, it was quite difficult for me to adjust because they were so emotionally available. But I was so happy because I was like, that means I'm emotionally available. I was like, how do I navigate this? Oh yeah, be myself. I'm healed in that area. It's like, I get it. I get it. And well, in the past, I was attracting men that were emotionally unavailable, and I tried to use everything, my body and money, to try to keep their attention. Ah, okay. Then I was like, I don't love myself then. Yeah, that's powerful. Thank you for saying that. It's so true, right? We will give whatever we have to make them stay, but it means we're not valuing ourselves. I refocused my energy on myself and started learning to love myself and see my worth. And now I'm just waiting for universe to align me with a good one. They will, because you're pouring into yourself so much, so much, and healing those wounds, right? How do I know I have let go of the attachment with money? Um, you'll feel it. You'll feel it so much. You'll feel a shift. Money will flow to you as well. You also won't feel the same fear that you once felt. Um, you won't feel the same fear. You'll begin to realize that you have everything you need and you are capable of creating everything that you need. The universe is also your provider. When you learn how to be in flow with energy and not make decisions based on your ego, with your money, you'll feel quite settled. I refocus my energy on, oh wait, I already saw that. Who are you, Christopher? Hi, Christopher. Discernment and intuition are key. Yes, everything comes from within. That's going to value um, and love me like I love me. Thank you. See, yes. Keep doing it. You do you. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. I mean, Zawadi's story last class was powerful, right? Everybody's manifestations are coming in. You're all on the right path. Just stay steady, keep doing your work. This is why I love Z School for the Gifted, because you all get to cheer each other on. I will teach you the concepts, you will implement, you will heal, you'll manifest. You'll manifest. But we have to normalize it, right? These are all tools that you can put into your toolkit to pour into yourself when you need it as much as you can. These are all practices I use all the time, and many practices I um, learned on my own journey to self many, many, many times. Except I did it by myself, fortunately, during certain times of my life. I'm just surfing looking for good souls, and best to you, man. We are good souls. We're talking about masculine men. Do you consider yourself a masculine man? Do you consider yourself a man, or how do you present? How do you how do you live? All are welcome here. Thank you. Of course, happy to help. I love talking about these things. I do want to go into it in more detail with the art of love and magnetism, because it's deeper than many people think. And what I was also talking about with someone else, um, they didn't realize how deep their trauma had gone, because they were an intersectional femme and they presented as Black, and they were carrying a lot of pain, as many of us do, to feel safe with masculine sometimes. And if it's like an interracial type of thing, it's even harder sometimes. Um, and so we had talked about that, and um, things that they were experiencing and places they felt unsafe and that kind of stuff. Everybody's life is very different, but I don't believe that there is one specific cure all for everybody, right? Everybody's circumstances is different. Like the path or my experiences and my trauma are very different than Benita's or Ideala's or, Shani's. Um, and so it takes a finesse of really getting to know yourself so that you can call in what it is that you are desiring, and know that it will always find you. And it does always, it does always find you. Balanced masculine men are such a gift. They really are. They really are. Um, it was very hard, like I said in the beginning, to get used to it. And I could hear my ego. They're gonna disappear. They're gonna disappear. They're not there. They're gonna disappear. They're gonna want something, all these things over and over and over and over and over again. And then every time they would prove me wrong. Right. I was like, I'm never gonna say these things because it's just my mind purging. And every time they would prove me wrong, and every time they would text me, and every time they would check in with me, and every time they would tell me something amazing, and every time, it was just like over and over and over. And I was like, damn these thoughts. I'm like, shut up, homie. I'm trying to be present. And they're like, he's not gonna love you forever. He's blah 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 blah. He's not even gonna take action. Oh, look, he took action. Oh, what did you say about he's not gonna take action? It's like, right? Mostly, but I have to accept my feminine side. Yeah, everybody has to accept both sides. Masculine man, it's hard to realize it is the action energy is non-gender. Yeah, I'm very loving and nurturing, but even a mama bear. Yeah. And we all have masculine and feminine energy. This was so calming, your demeanor. This old child is exactly what I'm going for. You are a beautiful reflection of feminine grace. You're so sweet. Thank you. If you ever want to come to Z School for the Gifted, A lot of these people in the chat go. It'll be this week. It'll be this week. I'll make a post to share it. Is masculine if you mess with her babies. Yeah, hope that helps. At least one is masculine if you mess with her babies. Yeah, don't mess with my babies. I'll take you out. I'll literally take you out. My puppies. Some people will try and mess with them. I'll take you out. I'll literally rain hell on you. That's how I feel. It's the action. Yeah, it is the action. Gender aside, yeah. When you came in, we have some feminines in here who were we were having an open conversation about divine feminine energy and them calling in masculine providers. That's what we were talking about, which is why I was asking. I asked you so bluntly. Sorry, wasn't articulated very well, but I got the point across. Um, but it takes, yeah, it takes time and patience, and they will always be patient. I didn't say it fully earlier, but I had at one point thrown, some daggers, warrior spirit and all. I had thrown some daggers, not like in a bad way, but like push them away real quick. They were so graceful about it. They apologized. I was like, it was definitely my fault. But it made me want to apologize even more. It's like, this is a trick. But they apologized on more than one occasion, even though I did it. I wholeheartedly said I did it. But they were so patient. They were so patient. They didn't care. They still were very tender and like, no, I'm still going to be here. I was like, okay, let me go put my swords down. They're like, it's okay. Like, just pulling all the swords off my back. Blessings. When we are healed, we will find each other. You only attract who is on your level. Self-worth is key. Yeah, 10,000%. That's what we were talking about. Um, it takes getting used to. You just have to be patient. Be patient. And the only way you're really gonna know what you're reflecting back to yourself is if you put yourself out there when you're ready. And I had taken some time to like focus on myself and my business. And then I swore off men, and then the men showed up. I was like, no more men, no. Psst, man. Then I went to spin class. The first song was It's Raining Men, and I was like, I can't get away from this energy. Just keep loving yourself. I'm proud of all of you for being so vulnerable tonight, for being so freaking vulnerable. It's been a really great time, and I hope that you enjoyed the questions and things like that. Um, I'm probably not going to put them in the chat, Shawnee, because I'm tired. But they will be in this recording if you can sift through and find them. Um, yeah, Christopher said, if you can't live yourself, love yourself. I think, yeah, if you can't love yourself, who can love you? Yeah, exactly. hmm hmm And you can also have a partner who will love you even more deeply. and teach you how to love yourself more deeply. But you do have to love yourself. And I feel like that's the thing too with relationships. People sometimes we have a tendency to think that you have to be 100% healed before you get together, and that's not true. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do everything. And to believe that you must be perfect before you receive love is conditional love. It's not unconditional love, you know? So pour into yourself and do whatever you want, and it'll show up when it's ready to. When you're ready, when you're ready. Um, because you have to also be ready. You have to say, right on the last life, okay, universe, I'm ready. I feel like most of you said are any of you ready to receive it right now? Or are you like wholeheartedly, if you think about where you're at on your journey? I'm asking one more question and then I'm going to go. Do you feel ready? Are you ready? Or do you feel like you want some more time to heal? I had to answer that question for myself. I said, am I ready? Am I ready? I wrote in my notebook, am I ready? I wrote a letter to God. I said, God, I'm ready. My friend, a couple weeks before I'd written that letter, was like, Z, it's there when you're ready for it. I was like, I know, but I wasn't ready yet. And then I became ready. And now, life is different. Yes, we are strong, Christopher. And let me handle this money wound and I'll be ready. Yeah. Yeah, handle your wounds. I'm about 75% ready, still working on me. Oh, and you said get some rest. Thank you. Yeah, you do you. Move at your own pace. But I think it's important, right? Because sometimes when you're on spiritual journeys, it's easy to like be like, oh, it's taking forever. It's taking forever, like all these things. When really it's like if you asked yourself if your partner showed up today, yeah, mind, body, soul, in your mind, body, soul, are you ready to receive them? And that's when you'll know. You will have your notebook and you can write it to God or you can talk to God. Say, I am ready, mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. I'm ready to receive my partner. Can I ask if love is different for twin flames? As I feel like I've been ready forever, but it just doesn't come in. It doesn't come in because your frequency doesn't match it yet. You think you are ready, but your heart is not ready. You have to ask yourself if you are ready, truly, mind, body, spirit, or if your ego is ready, right? Did you have a moment on your journey where you say, I am ready to be alone? Sometimes that's when you know you're ready. Because when you are ready to be alone, you are likely sometimes ready to be with a partner because you stop needing them. The point isn't to need them. Why do you want them? Why do you want them? Why do you feel like you want them? You know what I mean? And coming into union is a very powerful thing. It's not just, you know, doing stuff. Like it's not just you get to date someone. Union is quite bigger than that. It's quite bigger than that. Union happens especially with twins because you have a divine mission together. You have to be able to hold the skills of your own mission in order to have a co-mission, right? Personally, I'm done with twin flames for some are just lessons. Some hold out for a true soulmate. Yeah. Do what you gotta do. Celibate 2 years, I got time. Yeah. I've been celibate for a long time too. I don't interact with people in that energy. Like, you know, flirt, do all the things. I'm a creative writer. I can tell my old stories when I did that. But I actually am celibate for very long periods of time because I also made a promise to myself that I would be preparing my vessel, like my physical body, to be able to carry children again. And that requires a lot of work. And I didn't just want anybody's energy to be near me. And when I like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. What if you attract another heel on your level? All them lessons from the past are just water under the bridge. What do you mean? If you attract what you are wanting and desiring and it fits, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you let go of the past? I am ready, Z. Protect your energy. Some can't handle 144. Yeah, yeah, it's very true. I'm okay alone, and at this point, sometimes wonder what it would be like to be with someone. I have been amazing at being on my own. Yes. And sometimes it's a matter of healing your wounds, right? Like the money wounds. Heal your money wounds, and I'm sure they'll appear. You're also just about to step into the spotlight. So when you step into the spotlight, you also accept deeper parts of yourself. Stepping into the spotlight is a very vulnerable thing to do. It's a deeper sense of acceptance and willingness, resilience to keep going no matter what, and to be comfortable in who you are, to not shrink, to not hide, to just live. It will come in time, Benita. You're almost there. Twin flames, whoever made your religion kind of go through an accelerated healing. Yeah, I was the runner and my partner was the chaser. She's my everything. It's challenging because they reflect you. Yeah. It is accelerated healing and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I have, I love my baby. Oh, that's so sweet. Just trying to help some on this journey. Oh, I see what you're saying. Some are a catalyst, twin flame. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Benita, there's a difference between being alone and peacefully being alone, right? It's almost like you've like before I met this person, it's almost like you've forgotten about them in a way. Like you've become so at peace and in a state of gratitude that nothing else matters but your connection to spirit and love. And so they don't even matter, right? Your soulmate, your twin. relationships, they don't matter. They don't matter whatsoever. And we were talking about this today of like, you know, folks in the Bible, main ones, main characters, um, not marrying and being on spiritual journeys and all these things and awakening and all this stuff. And it's like when you detach finally and you feel what real peace is, that's when you will know love, true love. Um, Divine timing is like a time lock on a bank vault. If we have the code on that day, we could, yeah. Mhm. I was talking to someone today about divine timing. People think it's literally a clock. It's not a clock. It's not a clock. It's a like movement, like manifestations. Yeah, path. Like manifestations aren't quite here because you haven't quite fit the same frequency. And so the longer it takes you to heal with time, then the longer it takes to unlock that part. The quicker you do it, the more you master yourself, the easier it becomes, the faster the manifestations come. I think as I heal my money wounds is when union will occur. Yes, you cannot be in union with money wounds. You cannot be in union with low self-worth, money wounds, like trauma, unhealed family dynamics. All of those have to be at peace because union is like just like union. Yeah? It's the same thing. It's balance. You have to find balance in every aspect of your life before you can come into union. 10 toes down, no fear, all faith. I have $10 to my name. I have no fear. Yeah, money's a frequency. Yeah, for the divine feminine, you know? It's not like you have to be a millionaire. No. I was talking to my coach about this because I always ask a lot of questions. I mean, I haven't coached with her in a minute, but you know, she was like, you don't need a lot of money. You just have to be secure. You just have to be secure, financially secure, and take care of yourself. But sometimes there's this energy of like not even still wanting to take care of yourself that you can't get to that point. I agree, Z. I laughed hard when you said you can't be in union with money wounds. You can't. You're gonna create chaos. What is the point of of bringing people into union if they are like not you know what I mean? Like putting two divine souls together with money wounds. Ouch. I own my home. I have not worked in 2 years. I own 30 acres with 3 springs, 2 wells, and a cave. Fun, a cave. But I have no money. You have money. Money is a frequency. You will have physical money and you are happy. I'm glad you are happy if you're happy. And also, Benita, um, you didn't tell me the ego, I think, of the last person that showed up in your life. What was the ego around money? Because that's also what you are reflecting. So, what is the ego around money? Yeah, exactly, Christopher. It comes when you need it. Benita, my life changed after meeting my twin a year ago. The roller coaster ride. Joy. Aren't you a comedian, Benita? It's true. Meeting your twin ain't easy. It's not. It was like twin, generational healing, all these things. He was, oops, welcome to the party, Benita. It's Benita with an I, Binita. He was arrogant about having money. Mm. What did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about yourself? Right? Because there's always reflecting aspects of us. Sounds like you're on your path. Yeah, no worries. Just wanted to tell you. Benita. Got ya. Yes. Perfect. That's how you spell it. Yeah, Benita, what did you learn about yourself? Did you reflect on why they were there like that? Christopher, fat thumbs. Be kind. That I have attachment to money. Mm, yeah. Sit with that a little more. We can go into it if you want. Yeah, that always reflected practice. You always learn so much. That's what's great about dating. Ugh. On that roller coaster spelling. No, I'm correcting you because it's her name. It's also her heritage. People like to misspell people's names, so I don't care how she spells roller coaster, but I do want you to spell her name correctly. Benita. Binita. I will not be calling her out for that. Yes, fair. I appreciate you saying that. Was honest typo. That's okay. Thank you for clarifying. That's okay. I just didn't want you to keep spelling it incorrectly, so I figured I'd say something. Go a whole month saying Benita with the E. I'm gonna see you say it. I'm an activist, so I see it, say it. Right? Better to tell you now than sit here and let you spell it wrong. I was in fear of money sometimes, which I'm in fear of money sometimes, which I'm working through, and that's why I attract that energy in my life. Yeah, you will heal through it. You're almost there. It takes time. Money wounds are challenging, especially, with the path of marginalized people. Our paths are so different. What we experience is so different. And then also, because I know you were very transparent with your story on ZTV, um, experiences at home, right? With, Benita, your abuse that you experienced from family members and people who were supposed to provide for you. They didn't provide for you, they provided trauma to you. They gave you the opposite of safety. They gave you the opposite of love. They gave you the opposite of kindness. They abused you. And so be gentle with yourself, right? Because you're learning how to receive on a very deep level and do your generational healing. And so, you know, you may manifest every once in a while someone like that, but you had a very difficult childhood. And so you're letting that go now. You're letting that go now, but it will take time. It'll come easier than you think soon. But we can't forget the environment that we were in growing up. It's going to give you the most context when you are doing this kind of work. That's why I did these questions for myself, because it was so heavily ingrained in me that money wasn't freedom, money was a trap. Even though I was in always had money. I was very wealthy, actually. But I had this block with my business, and then I my ex-husband and I combined were extremely wealthy, and he was really wealthy as well, like all the things. And then I witnessed a lot behind the scenes of what certain people did with wealth, and then I traumatized myself again. And then realized that I was in a relationship where I was allowing myself to be manipulated with money just like my family had done. And so I had to heal that and like piecing this together for myself, right? My key, which, your story has a key too. My key was that healthy provider, men do it for freedom. And I can see that now. And that's why healthy love came into my life. That's why it came into my life. That there were people out there who would provide and protect and be very loving and honest and um, available in the way that I needed them to be available, without hiding from me, without lying, without forcing me to do something for money. I'm going to take this. Actually, I'll leave it for a second. Thank you, Christopher, and thank you for calling everybody out, including me. You know me, I can't just let things go. See it, say it. Yeah, whatever you live is, there is no room for fear. Yeah. Um, yes, as Christopher said, God has you. Benita, when you are ready to surrender, it will happen very quickly with the money. Right? It will happen very quickly. And honestly, which we talked about earlier, walking with God and surrendering is like the best thing ever. And again, I'll remind everybody because my friend told me, it's like if I knew how my life would end up, I wouldn't have worried so much. It's like if I knew God had my back this much, I wouldn't have worried. Like if I knew that I was still gonna make it, I was still gonna live, I'm still like kicking, doing all these things because he was old, like I would not have worried. And so he always told us young people to stop worrying so much. Like that quote I read earlier, right? Just say yes and figure it out later. Even when it comes to healing. But since we've been talking about love, also love. Just say yes and let go. Let go, give it to God. He never fails us. Exactly. God has never failed. God has never failed me. I've failed me. And God has come in and intervened, so I couldn't fail myself again. Because I was like, hey, God, could you just razzle dazzle my entire life so that I don't do stupid things anymore? That would be fabulous. I was like, okay, well, I don't really feel regret for saying that, but it definitely hurts sometimes. Thanks for the lessons. Amen. Yes. These dogs are barking. There's this little dog that likes, Paulo, come here. Likes to like pick a fight with Paulo through the fence. I'm like, Paulo will eat you alive, little dog. Lessons or blessings, whatever you want to call them. I prefer to say lessons because I feel like many people avoid that truth that there is something to be learned. And so I take the teacher approach. They are still blessings, yes, absolutely. But first, you must understand the lesson. My worry is tracking the bills, budgeting all the masculine energy on learning to manage money. Yeah, it takes time. But it's also good to simplify things, but it is a necessary part of living. It's a necessary part of living, right? Because taking care of your bills and feeding yourself is how you show yourself love. If you can't care for yourself in those ways, right? It's just another avenue. There's no difference between that and, a yoga practice. It still gives the same frequency of care. And, when it comes to budgeting and things like that, it's, worry goes down when you can create stability for yourself, right? If there's a lot to manage, then that can be very overwhelming. But if you simplify your life, it becomes easier. It's also, the whole reason why I only keep like 5 outfits, 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. I own nothing else aside from my iPad that I run my business on and my mic. I don't own a car anymore. I don't have any storage spaces. I have 1 cup. I don't even have a water bottle anymore. I have a ring light and a guitar and my spiritual things, which came from Egypt, who I love and will carry my entire life. Simplify as much as you can, Benita. Right? Our spiritual path is also about simplicity. That's why you see a lot of teachers going without, right? They don't carry many things. Because to carry many things is to carry attachments, and to carry attachments means to waste energy, and to waste energy means you are further away and not as connected to God in the universe. The less attachments you have, the easier it is to feel happy. Can you hear that? These dogs. Anita, you've got it. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. I know it can feel really challenging. I've been there, and it's quite hard. Not many people walk the same path as you and myself, right? I think it's easy for certain people who own certain things like houses and all that stuff, um, because they are already quite protected. But there's also certain people in the collective, like myself and like you and other seers, who are guided down a different path of surrender. We don't stay in one place. We don't stay in one place. And we are asked to step into the spotlight in a very big way. We go through many trials, many, many trials of healing, of expression, of growing. Seers have a very different life. I don't even want you to compare yourself to anybody because your connection to spirit is going to be your biggest thing. You've already seen much of your future, so just hold on to that. Just hold on to that. And remember from last class, right? How would you now move in your highest timeline? How would you move, Benita? I'm proud of y'all. Yes, that's all you need. Don't be hard on yourself. You're too hard on yourself. You're too hard on yourself. You are protected, anyways. Remember, our money is God's money. Our money is God's money. And there is also learning how to be a good steward of money, learning how to make it grow, how to invest it. If you have everything you need, what more do you need? Right? It's how you can stay ascended. For everybody on the call, you always have more than you think. Okay, I'm going to go. I need to go. I need to go. This live has been very long. Very, 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 very long. I'm going to get going. I'm going to change right now the link for Z School to for the gifted. Um, I'm going to change it to Wednesday night and just go live live earlier in the day. Um, so all of you are welcome to come to Z School for the gifted. We're doing mirror work. As always, we do healing. Everyone's been ascending quite beautifully. Everybody's gifts are opening. It's magnificent to see manifestations. Um, thank you, Ancient Eyes. I hope you'll have a very beautiful evening. Get lots of rest. Take care of yourself. Drink some water. And I will talk to you all later. Goodbye, everybody. Go fall in love. It's a really fun time. Trust the universe. Oh, and read Mango Manifestations, please. It's on Substack. Okay, bye.